Good afternoon, everyone. We'll start the Swartz Creek Community Schools Board meeting. It's August 12th at 6:02 p.m. We're at the board office. I want to thank everybody for coming. We have a long agenda, so I'll try to be brief. We do have a quorum. I see Ms. Fick and Ms. Walgast are missing. Hopefully they'll be here in the next few minutes. They didn't call me. Did they call any other board members for any reason? None? Okay, Sue, go ahead and do a roll call. Thank you.
Autumn Henry.
Here.
Chuck Melkey.
Present.
Kim Winter.
Present.
Ken Engel.
Present.
Jenny and Andrea are absent.
They're absent, okay. And like I said, I didn't get a call, so I don't know what's really going on with that. So we'll give them a few minutes. But anyways, we'll have our pledge of the flag. Everybody would please stand. That's good. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Okay, we have two public comment sections. One is agenda specific, the first one, which is this one that's coming up, and the second one can be basically on anything, and we tell everybody, please be polite. Please come up, state your name and address, and you have up to 3 minutes. There's a timer up there, and we'll open that up if anybody would like to come up and address an agenda item only. If you don't have an agenda, they're back there on the desk if you would like to pick one up. Everybody good with that? Okay. We'll go on to approval of the agenda. Any discussion on that?
Oh, but I'll move to approve it.
Okay, thank you, Autumn. There's a motion to approve
Support.
the agenda. There's support. Any discussion? Roll call vote, please, Sue.
Kim Winter.
Yes.
Autumn Henry.
Yes.
Chuck Melkey.
Yes.
Ken Engel.
Yes.
4 yes.
Motion passes 4-0. Thank you. Okay, now we'll go on to the consent agenda. That would be the approval of regular minutes from July 22nd, minutes from the closed session July 22nd, resignations and retirements, and payment of bills.
Make some, excuse me. Make a motion to accept the consent agenda.
I'll second.
Motion's been made by Ken and seconded by Kim. Is there any discussion? None? Okay, roll call vote, please. Sue?
Kim Winter.
Yes.
Ken Engel.
Yes.
Chuck Melkey.
Yes.
Autumn Henry.
Yes.
4 yes.
Okay, thank you, Sue. 4-0. Okay, now we're going to come to big parts, usually not this big, but we have board action items, SCEA appointment. And I think there's quite a few people in the audience for that. So what we ask everybody to do is your supervisor representative will come up and they'll give a short speech, and then we'll ask you to give you a couple minutes or less than a minute to talk about yourself. There may be some questions from the board, because usually we only have 2 or 3 people, so there's quite a few today. Yeah, I see that. A lot of new faces. So I welcome you. I don't think I see any issue with anybody being rejected, so I'm sure it'll be all fine. So who do we want to start with, Ken? Who do you want to start with?
Rock, paper, scissors back there. Looks like Mr. Special Education Director.
Okay.
He beat you to it, sorry.
Derek?
I'm not shy.
And your candidate?
Chanda Rose.
Chanda Rose.
Chanda Rose.
Come on up.
So
Hi, Chanda.
I present to you tonight Chanda Rose for the position of school social worker at Deke Elementary. She has her master's degree from Saginaw Valley State University. She's worked at Holy Cross, Mount Morris, currently working at Davidson Schools. We are very happy and excited because she has supported the emotionally impaired classroom over at Davison and has requested that classroom here at Swartz Creek. So her skilled and risk and threat assessments and her behavior plans are spot on. So I believe she's going to be an amazing fit over at Deke Elementary, working with our elementary students that have a tendency to have some behavior difficulties. So I present to you Chandra Rose.
Hi, Chandler. How are you?
Hi, good.
Good, good. You can tell us a little bit about yourself, and there may be some questions from some of my fellow board members, and reflect the record that Andrea fixed here now, please, Sue. Okay,
Okay.
so noted. All right.
So about myself, I've been married to my husband for 4 years. We have a 2-year-old son named Clayton, 2 dogs that we consider our kids. Grew up in the Lapeer area, and I chose to go into social work because I really wanted to work with kids. I have a passion with working with kids. I like that not only do we challenge them in many ways, but they also challenge us in many ways that we don't really even realize. So it's kind of why I chose school social work. I wanted to work with kids, and I knew that like right from the get that I wanted to work with kids.
Thank you. Some of my fellow board members may have a question or two. It'll be easy, but stand by. Anybody have a question?
No questions, just thank you for choosing this path.
No questions at all?
No, no,
Okay.
you stay right up there.
Okay.
Stay right up
Sorry.
there. Don't you move yet.
You're not hired yet.
I don't know, I
Yeah,
signed a paper.
we have to take a roll call vote, and then, of course,
Okay.
we'll have you come up and shake our hands and, we'll
Okay.
congratulate you. I'm sure everything will go good. So please note that Jenny is here now present, so we have a full board of our 6 members. So,
Just so
okay,
you know, Derek said, watch this tonight, Ken, I'm gonna make this lady be first.
I had a feeling,
He's like that.
okay, no further questions. Roll call vote, please, Sue.
We need to move, I make the motion, we hire.
Yes,
Support.
thank you. My mistake. Nope, we're good yet. Sue, roll call vote?
Jenny Walgest,
Yes.
Chuck Milky,
Yes.
Ken Engel,
Yes.
Autumn Henry,
Yes.
Kim Winter,
Yes.
Andrea Fick.
Yes.
I already knew it was gonna happen. Come on, Shannon, shake everybody's hands. Yep. Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you. Joy and wine. Well, it's all true.
I have the honor to introduce Emily Summerfield for our position of high school resource room teacher. Emily is coming to us having worked at Flex High, Madison Academy, Genesee STEM Academy, has her master's degree from Northwood University, also has sought out a alternative method to getting the teaching certificate, so that was pretty exciting. She has a career background in CTE, career tech, has worked in the medical field, so Emily will be coming with us with an English background as well, so which is a great fit of what we were hoping to find in a resource room teacher for our high school. And I present to you Emily Summerfield.
Thank you, Derek. Hi, Emily.
Hi.
Go ahead and give us a short dissertation about yourself.
Oh, goodness.
And why you chose Swartz Creek. Thank you.
I chose Swartz Creek. It's my neighbor. I grew up in Flushing, moved there when I was 2 years old, enjoyed all of the Flushing schools. I choose to come to Swartz Creek. It's kind of like a neighbor of mine. I'm excited to teach with fellow teachers that I did not graduate high school with, so that's kind of a new new
Fair
thing. But years and years in business, decided to go for teaching, and I'm happy to be here. I'm excited.
Okay.
I don't have much to say, sorry.
No, that's fine. You're fine, Emily.
Plus,
That's
there's
fine.
a slew of people behind me
No.
that,
Yeah, well,
are itching to get up
The first
here.
and second ones are the tough ones, because now they know what the questions are, so they're pretty simple, as I said. So, are there any questions from my fellow board members?
No questions, just thank you for choosing Swartz Creek.
yeah.
Okay. I won't jump the gun this time because I know the outcome, but go ahead and, would somebody like to make a motion to hire
So
Emily?
moved.
So moved by Andrea. Support by Ken. Okay, no further discussion. Roll call vote, please, Sue.
Kim Winter,
Yes.
Andrea Fick,
Yes.
Chuck Milky,
Yes.
Jenny Walgest,
Yes.
Ken Engel, Autumn Henry.
Yes.
6 yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you.
Congratulations. Okay, Derek, you're all done? Okay, Chantel's up.
Good evening. I'm Chantel Manning, principal at Elms Road. I will be presenting to you 4 candidates. So,
Okay.
first one is Gracie Urian. Gracie comes to us as a recent Michigan State University graduate with a lower elementary PK through 3rd grade certification and a PK through 12 English as a second language endorsement. Through her extensive field experience in preschool, kindergarten, and 1st grade, including a year-long 1st grade internship, she has developed a strong foundation in early literacy and using assessment data to support student growth. Her experiences reflect a focus on building positive relationships and supporting students both academically and socially emotionally. Gracie's enthusiasm for young learners and eagerness to grow as an educator really stood out throughout the interview process. We are excited about the knowledge, energy, and student-centered approach she will bring to our team. So I present to you Gracie for a kindergarten position at Moorish.
Okay, thank you. Hi, Gracie.
Hi.
Step up there to the speaker and give us a short, biography of yourself, and sure you'll be hired and everything will be fine. You look very young.
I am, yeah.
You look very young.
Well, she kind of already covered a lot about me, but a little bit about me and my education background. But I am from Corunna.
Okay.
I went to Corunna Public Schools my whole life. I really like to travel, hang out with my family. I brought some of them with me. I just recently got engaged, so I'm enjoying the wedding planning. So, that's me. Did you want me to answer why I chose Swartz Creek?
Yes, please do.
Okay.
We had a board member that used to do that all the time. I actually nominated everybody, but now that I'm president, I don't nominate.
Okay.
For 8 years I did.
So this was actually my second time interviewing at Swartz Creek. The first time I didn't get the job, but I did ask for some tips, and they were very supportive and helpful, and just gave me some tips. And then I came back the second time, used those tips and tricks that they gave me, and they were just very helpful, very supportive, and I just think this is going to be a great community to be a part of.
Good.
Yeah.
Thank you for your honesty, and I'm glad that you came back and chose us.
Yeah.
So
no
with
problem.
that being said, is there any other questions from fellow board members?
No questions.
Okay,
Kudos.
motion.
Elms is amazing. I was a student and a parent at Elms, so it's the best elementary out there. Sorry,
I think
everybody
mine
else,
is
but-
Moorish. Yeah. I'm
I
Moorish.
thought, oh, man, see, she just blew the whole thing. I was so excited.
She's showing her age.
I did. Well, Manning threw me all off
The building's
there.
not that old.
No, it's not, I'm not as old as the building. I would like to motion that we hire you.
Gracie is going to
Gracie.
Moore.
Support.
Good job,
Support
Manning.
by Ken. Any further discussion? Roll call vote, Sue?
Ken Engel,
Yes.
Jenny Walgas.
Yes.
Chuck Melkey,
Yes.
Autumn Henry,
Yes.
Kim Winter,
Yes.
Andrea Fick.
Yes.
6 yes.
Thank you, Gracie. Come on up. Shake everybody's hand. Congratulations. Welcome to marriage. I'm glad to see you.
Good luck and enjoy.
All right. I'm here to present Amanda Sennett. She brings over 20 years of experience teaching students in grades 3 through 6, along with a strong background in literacy, data-driven instruction, intervention, and curriculum development. She is passionate about creating engaging learning experiences that encourage students to think critically and make meaningful connections to the world around them. Amanda has also served as a mentor and professional learning leader. She brings valuable experience that extends beyond her own classroom. Her recognition as a Teacher of Excellence finalist speaks to the quality and dedication she brings to her work. We are excited to welcome her experience, leadership, and passion to our students for a 5th grade at Moorish.
Thank you. Hi, Amanda. Hello. Step up and give us the spiel. What you got?
Give it all, right?
Yeah.
I've always wanted to be a teacher. I played school in my basement, and I'm watching my little kids do it now. I'm the mom of 2 daughters. One is starting 10th grade, and one is starting 6th grade, which is mind-blowing to me. Been married 22 years, had some experience in Florida teaching, and then after having my kids, no family was traveling with us down there, so I was like, okay, it's time to go home. Glad we made the move back. I really didn't want my kids in school down there, so Michigan schools are better. I'm happy to, I think, have found my home at Swartz Creek. I think it's a great community. My kids have played against you guys in track, so there may be some sweatshirt changes when those times come around, but I'm excited. So thank you.
Thank you, Amanda.
Yep.
Any questions from the board members? Okay. Motion?
So moved.
Motion by Andrea. Support. Roll call vote, please, Sue.
Autumn Henry,
Yes.
Kim Winter,
Yes.
Andrea Fick,
Yes.
Ken Engel,
Yes.
Jenny Walgast,
Yes.
Chuck Melkey.
Yes.
6 yes.
Congratulations, Amanda.
Thank you.
Congratulations. All right, we only got a dozen more to go through.
I know, right?
So, okay, no, it's great meeting them and seeing everybody here.
I'd like to present Katie Ford. She brings a unique combination of elementary education experience, literacy support, and STEAM instruction to our first grade team. In her current role as an elementary media technician, she works with students from young 5s through 5th grade, creating engaging learning experiences and fostering a love of reading. She has demonstrated a strong ability to build positive relationships with students. Katie's enthusiasm for learning and her ability to create welcoming environments really stood out during the interview process. We are excited about her creativity, positivity, and passion for students. So I present to you Katie Ford for first grade at Elms.
Thank you. Hi, Katie.
Hi.
Step up, please.
All right. Well, a little bit about myself is I graduated from Clio and then moved to Fenton. Have been working there for a few years in the library. I have 2 sons who are going into 5th grade and going into 7th grade. They also are in sports against Swartz Creek, so there also will be outfit changes for me. But I'm very excited to be a part of this community. I know a lot about it because my husband went to school here, and my mother-in-law still lives here. So.
Oh, great. Okay. Thank you, Katie.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you for choosing Swartz Creek and Elms Elementary.
Okay.
Thank you.
Is there
No
any questions?
Nope. I move we hire Katie Ford.
Support.
Motion's been made by Ms. Fick and supported by Mr. Engel. Any further discussion by board members? None? Sue, roll call vote, please.
Andrea Fick,
Yes.
Ken Engel,
Yes.
Autumn Henry,
Yes.
Chuck Melkey.
Yes.
Kim Winter,
Yes.
Jenny Walgast.
Yes.
Congratulations, Katie.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, good luck to you. Yep.
Good luck to you.
All right, finally. I present to you Justine Cook. Justine brings a strong passion for supporting students as they transition from primary grades toward becoming more independent learners. She values creating an inclusive and collaborative classroom where students feel confident taking risks, thinking critically, and challenging themselves. She places a strong emphasis on relationships and communication with both students and families. Her background in social work brings an additional strength in understanding and supporting the whole child. We believe her unique combination of education and social work experience will be a tremendous asset to both our students and staff. I present to you Justine Cook for 4th grade at Elms Elementary.
Thank you. Hi, Justine.
Hi.
Hi, give us a little bit about yourself and why you chose Swartz Creek.
I chose Swartz Creek because of the importance on the social emotional learning and the communication with families. It's really important to me as well. I'm a mom of 4. I will also have some sweatshirt changes. Yeah, that's me.
Okay. Any questions?
Nope. No questions. Just welcome to Elms Elementary.
Thank you.
I move that we hire Justine Cook.
Support.
Motion's been made and supported by Ken. Did I hear that correctly? I'm sorry.
Andrea Ken, yes.
Okay, Andrea, okay. On this one, do we need some boxes checked on here? Or is it all good? No, I think we're good. All right. Roll call vote, please, Sue.
Jenny Walgast,
Yes.
Autumn Henry,
Yes.
Andrea Fick,
Yes.
Ken Engel,
Yes.
Chuck Melkey,
Yes.
Kim Winter,
Yes.
6 yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you. Good luck. We're making sure all your boxes were checked. Some checked. Yeah, that goes there. This was left out. This one.
Okay, but that's.
Yep. Let's just make sure all their background checks. Okay.
Okay, my turn. Good evening. I'm Becky Trent. I've been serving as the Dean of Students at Gaines Elementary, and tonight I bring to you Lauren Kimmer for your consideration for 5th grade position at Morrish Elementary. Lauren brings a wealth of experience across multiple grade levels and content areas with particular strengths in both math and literacy. Her background includes classroom teaching as well as targeted reading and math intervention, giving her a strong understanding of how to meet students at their individual levels and accelerate growth. This experience will also be a tremendous asset as she prepares our 5th graders for their transition to middle school. Lauren's positivity and enthusiasm were immediately evident throughout the interview process. Her experience, energy, and commitment to students will make her an exceptional addition to the 5th grade team. I bring to you Lauren Kimmer.
Hi, Lauren.
Thank you.
Give us a few words about yourself.
Absolutely. So I'm Lauren Kimmer. I chose Swartz Creek just because this is that smaller family feel. I'm coming from a public charter school, which is a small family feel, and I love that we have this here. And so that's really exciting. I was talking to my friend Kelly Robertson about, she's in Swartz Creek, and just how much she loves it here and how this is such an important place. So I live in Durand, sorry, I'm rambling. I live in Durand, so it's only a few minutes down the road. My other commute was 40 minutes, that's a very long way. So I'm thrilled to be a little bit closer to home, to be able to be involved in my students' lives, to go to a football game on the weekend. My 5th graders, my children play 5th grade football, who will be playing Swartz Creek 5th grade football. So, you know, I get it. I have 4 kiddos, 11th grade, 5th grade, 5th grade, and 3rd grade. So I think I'm too young to have an 11th grader, but we're just throwing it out there. So I'm excited for this year.
All right. Thank you, Lauren.
So did I hear your students are going to be at Swartz Creek?
My children, I have 2 in Durand and 2 at Genesee Christian. So we're everywhere. We just go.
Super fun. Well, thank you for choosing Swartz Creek.
Absolutely. I'm excited to be here.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Support.
Motion by Andrea and supported by Ken. Any further discussion? Lauren Kimmer, right? Okay. None? Roll call vote, please, Sue.
Andrea Fick,
Yes.
Jenny Walgast,
Yes.
Ken Engel,
Yes.
Autumn Henry,
Yes.
Chuck Melkey,
Yes.
Kim Winter,
Yes.
6 yes.
Thank you, Lauren.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
All right. So I now bring to you Haley Graham for your consideration for 1st grade. Haley brings 2 years of classroom experience in both 1st and 2nd grade, giving her a strong foundation in lower elementary instruction. She has experience using student data to guide small group instruction, differentiating lessons to meet student needs, and creating hands-on learning opportunities. Haley places a strong emphasis on positive classroom management and building relationships that help students feel safe, supported, and successful. She also understands the importance of strong communication and partnerships with families. We are excited about the enthusiasm, experience, and commitment to young learners that Haley will bring to our 1st grade team. And so we would like to consider Haley for first grade at Gaines Elementary.
Thank you. Hi, Haley.
Hi.
A few words about yourself. Thank
Yeah,
you.
so I'm originally from the west side of the state, Battle Creek, Michigan, and you're probably wondering, why did I come all the way to Swartz Creek? Well, I just got married in June, and my husband is from Durand, so I moved to Durand, and my mother-in-law actually went to Swartz Creek. So I actually already go to church in Swartz Creek, so I'm already in the community, and I just wanted that close family feel because that's the school that I came from, and I just love Swartz Creek.
Great, good answer. Thank you, Haley.
Thank you.
For choosing us. Does any of our other board members have any questions?
No questions.
None?
Thank you for coming this way. I move that we hire Haley Graham.
Thank you.
Support.
Motion and supported by Andrea and Ken. Is there any further discussion? None? Go ahead, Sue, and do a roll call, please.
Ken Engel,
Yes.
Autumn Henry,
Yes.
Andrea Fick,
Yes.
Chuck Melkey.
Yes.
Jenny Walgast.
Yes.
Kim Winter.
Yes.
Congratulations, Haley.
Thank you.
Okay,
All right, one more.
yes, that's fine.
Okay. Sometimes we save the best for last, Holly. All right. So I would love to introduce to you Holly Bishop for your consideration for 5th grade. Holly brings more than 18 years of elementary teaching experience across grades K-5 and a strong background in supporting a wide range of learners. She has particular strengths in math instruction, intervention, differentiation, and creating structured classroom environments where students can be successful. Holly believes in maintaining high expectations while building strong relationships and a positive classroom culture. She also brings an incredible amount of enthusiasm and positive energy that was immediately evident throughout the interview process. We are excited for the experience, the energy, and the commitment she will bring to our students, staff, and district. So I would like to bring Holly before you for 5th grade at Gaines Elementary.
Thank you. Step up, Holly. Hi.
Hey, hi,
Yep,
it's good to
good.
see everybody.
Nice to see you. Take a few minutes.
I'm so happy to be here. This will be actually closer to my 20th year in education. I'm excited just to join this community. I've heard such good things about the schools, the teachers, and the close-knit community. I'm originally from New Lothrop, so I still live in New Lothrop, but kind of traveled around throughout my life, but I'm happy to be back and so excited to be a dragon, so.
Thank you.
Yes.
Does anybody have any questions? Okay, we'll take a motion.
So moved.
Support.
Moved by Andrea and supported by Ken. Is there any further discussion? Ms. Sue, go ahead with roll call.
Kim Winter,
Yes.
Chuck Melkey,
Yes.
Autumn Henry,
Yes.
Jenny Walgast.
Yes.
Andrea Fick,
Yes.
Ken Engel.
Yes. Excuse me, yes.
Motion passes. Congratulations, Holly. Congratulations. Good luck to you. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Okay, I think we have 2 left, if I'm not mistaken.
Good evening. I'm Jamie Damon. I'm the principal over at the high school, and I have 2 candidates for you tonight. One is in person and one is out of the country. So I will give you the whole spiel, but she couldn't be with us today personally. This is Colin Allison. Colin is we are considering him for hire and asking you to consider him for hire for our German teacher at the high school. Colin is beginning his first year as a classroom teacher. He's had the last couple of years subbing, getting some experience around different districts, and so he's ready to take on his first classroom. He's also certified in social studies, but this will be a full-time German position, but it's always nice to know what else he could possibly teach as well. He's going to begin his career at Swartz Creek, and he emphasized that he's also pretty excited about that. And so I'm going to turn it over to Colin and let you guys talk to him.
Thank you. Hi, Colin.
Hello.
Yeah, give us a little bit about yourself and why you chose Swartz Creek.
So this will be my first year teaching. I graduated from Mississippi State University back in December of 24. So like she said, I have gotten I've done long-term subbing experiences in both social studies as well as German language. I've been learning German since 7th grade, so I have a long experience of utilizing the language. And the reason that I kind of chose this area is because my mom's side of the family comes from Flushing, so I'm kind of used to the area. I did my student teaching down in Fenton, as well as one of the teachers that sort of motivated me into becoming a teacher is also a Swartz Creek alumni.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. Does anybody have any questions of Colin?
Kudos, I can't imagine teaching a foreign language. That's gotta,
It's like a unicorn.
right, for sure. So, thank you. I can't wait to come sit in your class someday and hear you speak German.
Very excited.
I move, well, I don't even have questions. I move that we hire Colin Allison, right?
Support.
Motion made by Andrea and supported by Ken. Any further discussion?
I just have a question.
Okay.
What made you choose German as a foreign language to learn?
So my German teacher that I had in middle school was a really cool guy, and so I decided that since, current curriculum, you're required to take 2 years of a foreign language, so I decided to do German, and I realized that I have a talent for learning languages, so I decided to stick through, and I've been continuing German education through college as well, having been able to do a study abroad for a month in Germany as well.
Okay, great.
Do you speak other languages?
I've attempted to learn other languages. It's hard to do outside of a school setting and with trying to do it on your own. I'm hoping to try to become at least trilingual at some point. I did do a semester of Arabic at OCC.
Good.
And
Oh, wow.
that was fun, but I haven't been able to continue it.
You, my last name in German.
Engel, yeah.
Can you share what that is?
It's Engel is like an angel.
Thank you. Thank you. And you notice they're all laughing.
Yeah, they all know.
There's one thing we don't tolerate, is liars, so tell us the truth. That is because he's only one vote and there's 5 others here.
I'm telling the truth, okay?
I told him it would be easy on him because we were laughing.
This couldn't have worked out any better.
This worked out really well. We went through quick. I appreciate that you're going to try to get more languages. My son, 4 languages.
Oh, wow.
And, yeah,
Yeah.
he travels a lot, and it's tough, but he's losing it, so.
Yeah, I'm hoping to try to learn at least one more. I'd like to have at
Yeah.
least one more under the belt.
Trilingual was pretty cool. Yeah, good. Okay. We had a motion, and we had discussion. Kim opened up the can of worms. So, congratulations, but we're going to do the formal vote. I'm glad that you chose Swartz Creek. Thank you.
Autumn Henry,
Yes.
Andrea Fick,
Yes.
Kim Winter,
Yes.
Chuck Melkey,
Yes.
Jenny Waggis,
Yes.
Ken Engel.
Yes and yes.
Congratulations, Colin. Come on up. Congratulations. Okay, and then we have one more that is not present.
So our next candidate is not present, but she's no stranger to Swartz Creek. Oh, she's no stranger to Swartz Creek. She's an alumni of Swartz Creek, and for the past year, she was working over at the VLC as our long-term math substitute while she obtained her master's degree from U of M Flint and her teaching certificate that is being processed as we speak over the summer, and that will be in her hand momentarily. And that will give her a math certification to teach 6 through 12. But she's already been ingrained in this community. She, working at the VLC the last year, she's been able to connect with our students and our staff and our processes and how things work. And so she's very excited to be in a traditional school setting at the high school with also her first time of her own classroom and being a full-time teacher. So she's very excited, and she also works in our PAC and does a lot of our stuff with our theater department. So she has very strong ties to
to the district already in the community, and this is just one more way that she is excited to get involved and be a new math teacher at our school. So Paige Steele is her name, and so I don't know, do we vote on her tonight,
Yes,
even
we're
though
gonna
she's
still
not
have
here? Okay, perfect, so that's it, that's
Yeah,
all I
we're
have.
just- We're gonna take your word and Ken's and whoever else was on the committee. You were Amy Hart, Josh Atwood, and Kara Hicks.
Carrie Hicks, yep.
Carrie Hicks.
Yep.
Yeah, we're gonna
Move we
take your
hire
word.
Paige Steele.
Support.
Any further discussion on Ms. Page? None? Okay. Roll call vote.
Chuck Melkey,
Yes.
Jenny Walgast,
Yes.
Ken Engel,
Yes.
Autumn Henry,
Yes.
Kim Winter,
Yes.
Andrea Fick.
Yes.
6 yes.
Motion passes. Congratulations, Paige. Okay, usually we interview the candidates for a few more questions, but we had so many today. I think that's why I kind of went rushed through, but we did well. So I want to thank everybody for choosing Swartz Creek. I want to thank you for taking time and effort to come this afternoon. And I wish you all the luck, and I hope you do a great job for our children. I think your hearts are all in the right spot from what I could see. And what brief little bit we've heard about you, and Ken's our new boss, and we're going to have a very good education here, and we're going to have very good safety. So I appreciate you coming. At this point, though, you guys are welcome to leave, because now the boring stuff comes. And thank you for coming, once again. Congratulations to y'all. I think you're the biggest group we've ever had in my 8 years here.
We've been busy.
Yeah, it's definitely the biggest group. Thank you once again. And is Michelle Corbett going to put all this out? Okay, yeah. All right. Thank you, Michelle.
Do a group photo outside with everyone.
Yeah. Are you going to do a group picture? That'd be good. Okay.
She's taken their individual pictures. Yes.
Oh, okay.
There we go, individual.
All right.
Each one of them will get their own photo.
Okay. Informational items. We have appointment of non-certified staff. That's the sheet that you have in front of you, so we don't have to approve them because they're non-certified, but I want to congratulate them all. I'm not going to mention their names. I don't know if that's appropriate right now or not, but I want to congratulate them all. There's 5 new hires for different positions such as cooks, cook managers, servers, and bus drivers. So I want to thank them all for joining the team. And we also have a list of retirees. I'm not going to mention all their names, but a shout out to them. If anybody has a special person they would like to congratulate, you have the list in your packet for the people that have left or retired. Okay, thank you for that. We'll go on to the superintendent's report, item number 9.
So it's hard to believe we're less than a month away, starting the 2026-27 school year. Summer, obviously, with this many hires, we've been a little busy here. I'd like to update you on a few things that have been going on. First off would be the bond work. I had a great chance yesterday to walk the district, to go through 3 out of the 4 buildings that were having some work done. Had a chance to walk the middle school, the high school, and drive out to Deke to see the work that's being done. Absolutely amazed when you think about, we made a joke today at one of our meetings about renovating at home. You think about renovating at home and all the small things that happen, from carpet to painting to moving your couch, multiply that by whatever number you can think of when it comes to what's being done at the high school right now. For moving all the furniture out, getting the floors in the bathroom done, doing the tile work, the sinks, the bathrooms, the athletic area over at the middle school, the media center, and just everything that's happening over there. It's such amazing to see the transformation of the Deke parking lot. While I was out there, I had a chance to walk across the street, and there was a gentleman there sitting in his driveway, watching everyone work. Had a chance to go up and walk and have a conversation with him and talk a little bit, and just to hear from him that how great it was to see all the upgrades that were going on and see that transition. With that Deke parking lot, you'll now know that we won't have as many cars on the road. We'll have access in the back for parking. We'll have access up front for parking, which will be a great thing, especially as we welcome those families back for that first night. Our students deserve all of these updates. Our community deserves them, and it's great to see the progress over the year, the summer, as we've been working. Not a lot of people are allowed in. It's a hard hat. glasses only situation. So Michelle and I try to sneak in there, stay out of the way, get some updates. So if you haven't seen those social media posts, please make sure you check those out. You can see that transformation as we move into next week and finalizing some things. We had some professional development in this summer. Last week, our building administrators and central office had a great opportunity to participate in 3 days of professional learning. It doesn't happen very often where as an entire group we get to come together. So Lake Fenton put together a nice professional development opportunity for all of our building and central office administrators. Got a chance to hear some great speakers, some keynote speakers, talking about some visible learning, talking about some initiatives district-wide as well as county-wide, but also some work with AI. AI is one of those things like cell phones when they came out. I made the joke when I started to be an elementary principal, I had a flip phone. So date myself a little bit. As an elementary teacher, I didn't have a phone at all, and now I'm walking around with two. They're not going away anytime soon. Same with AI. It's not going away. So we had some great sessions about, okay, it's not going away. What can we do to help support learning with it rather than try to say we're not allowed to use it? So there's some great sessions there talking with individuals from Michigan Virtual who are experts, as well as looking countywide, or what are we doing with the initiative to look at AI and what can we do as a district and a community to embrace this change and continue to move forward. After that one day at Lake Fenton, I had a great chance to bring the building administrators and central office together for a 2-day retreat out at Moorish. We would normally have it in this building, but because of the renovations, this was home to FLU and band camp. So we had band camp last week. We didn't have a spot over there for them, so they came in here. So we moved over to Moorish and had some great opportunities for professional learning. It was a great chance to not only reflect on that day at Lake Fenton, but also an opportunity for us to start to launch that school year. Where our focus is going to be. What are we going to be focusing and stay committed with as an administrative team moving into working with our teachers on that first day of professional development. That first day of professional development's right around the corner. We've got some small sessions happening around math, around special education, but we've also got one right around the corner I'm extremely excited about where all of these individuals, as well as everyone else we've hired this summer, they're going to come back for a new teacher PD. That new teacher PD is going to be focused on those opportunities for us to share what's happening in Swartz Creek, all the great things that are happening, and really set that stage for their first year of teaching, whether it's their first year of teaching in general or their first year here. There's a lot that goes on and a lot of information that we're going to try to share with them. This won't be a one-time opportunity with our new teachers. We're going to continue to meet with them throughout the course of the year, continuing to offer them professional learning to then continue to grow. From our new curriculum to their planning and preparation to their classroom environment, focusing on their evaluation cycle of what that's going to look like, as well as some time for us to really work with them as each group, from the business department to the human resources and all the way over to curriculum and special education. With our new teacher PD, we are going to make another shift this year. Rather than just having year one and being done, we're going to pull our year two teachers in. We're going to have some conversations about safety and security. We're going to have some conversations about taking it to that next level, as well as our year 3 and our year 4 teachers. We want to really make sure that what we're doing and we're investing in those teachers, and it's not just a once, congratulations, welcome, good luck. It's an opportunity for us to really work and support them. All of these opportunities for next week will be the planning for us, and then we launch here in less than a month. The last thing I want to talk about, I'll introduce it now, but I'd like an opportunity later in the agenda to circle back to it, would be some administrative changes for the 26-27 school year. You'll notice on there are 2 additions, and I don't want to sprinkle some in and then not have conversations about all of them, so I'd like to circle back when we finish one of the sections lower in the agenda, just to talk about a few of those as we move into the next school year. And the last thing I want to talk about in terms of my update is just the opportunity, the new beginnings. We've got a new group of kindergarten students coming in and young 5s. If anyone wants to do the math really quick, what is your year of graduation? 2040 for our young 5ers. Let that sink in just a little bit. 2039 for our new kindergarten students starting this year. So that fresh start for them to come in. But we've also got a fresh start for our elementaries. We're going for many of them from a K2 or a 3-5 to a K5. We've got a fresh beginning. We've got a new opportunity to start and to hit that reset button and start over. I was having some conversations with some elementary principals and secondary administrators of embracing that opportunity, embracing those new staff members, embracing that new opportunity to start over, start fresh, and really launch with the areas that you want to focus on. I'm talking with them. We have students, staff, school configurations, building remodels. We've got our kitchen at Gaines. There's so many new beginnings that are happening this school year, and I'm extremely excited to be part of it. And I'm extremely excited to work with the administrative team and the teachers as we embrace that and move forward.
Okay, thank you, Ken. Questions or concerns to our superintendent?
So all of our parking lots are gonna be ready for day one? I drove by some the other day.
Which one did you drive by?
Deke.
Yeah, Deke, all the curbs will be in. We'll be paving this weekend. The gravel will be going down and the crushed gravel will be in. We currently have a wonderful individual who has a barn down the road that's allowing some of the construction workers to park at, as well as our cleaning crew. So our cleaning crew can't go through the parking lot because it's a construction zone, need a hard hat, but they go around back and they're in there getting the things done. So we're gonna have the furniture delivered and the paving should be done. So maybe as early as next week, I can just send you a photo of some of the paving completed.
Quick question. The gentleman across the street, is his name Clyde?
It's a great question, but I don't have the answer.
Old guy?
Great question, I don't have the answer.
Oh, well, you talked to him.
No, the old guy that I talked to?
Yeah.
Oh,
Like, was he real old?
He was a different.
I can't. Don't feel like I can say really old or just kind of old.
So there's a fella older than me that is a retired Flint cop that lives across the street there. His name's Clyde.
I'll have to
So
stop back in and
I was
make-
just wondering if you spoke with Clyde.
He had a lawn chair and he was sitting in his garage watching the work.
Sounds like Clyde.
He said you're a troublemaker. Clyde did. Didn't he, Ken?
He's an old hillbilly, but that's why we get along.
Uh-huh.
He really is. There's a county employee that lives right across from Deke too. And his name is, I'll just say his first name, Bert.
It was just really nice to have a community member that out there watching and seeing what was going on and just embracing some of those changes and embracing that opportunity of what they're working on and just, I think he was enjoying it a little bit more than sitting inside and watching TV.
This district has a lot of moving parts. Thank you, Ken. Is there any other questions? I have some, but I forgot what they were, so I'll move on. Okay. Board member candidate selection process. So we have to fill one board position for Mr. Main's resignation. We only have two candidates. One is actually running for office, and one is a former board member. So you have a sheet there. We've had discussion about this before last year when we had several appointments. We did, I think, end up on a point system, but it was, instead of having 4 candidates, it was 2 or 3. We only have 2 candidates today. So I'm going to leave it open for what you guys would like to do and how you would like to do it. You gonna use this process or not?
I'll go same issue as I had last time. If it's such a foolproof process, why hasn't it been adopted into a policy?
Correct.
I don't agree with, charts and graphs and to make a decision on something that,
Is there any suggestions?
Got a quarter.
That's a good one. What do you guys want to do?
I think we.
Keep it simple.
I think we give them their opportunity and nominate one and vote. And if
Okay.
you don't get a majority, then go to the one that didn't get nominated.
Got it, okay. Well, candidates, you heard that. We're gonna give you each up to 8 minutes to talk. We do have your questionnaires here. We may ask you some questions. We have your statement of what you sent to us, which we've reviewed. So who would like to go first? We'll go by alphabetical order. Lorraine? Lorraine Ahern, former board member, and we have one running, Miss Vicki Sturgis. So hi, Lorraine.
How you doing?
Good, I'm good. I know you probably won't take the full 8 minutes, but just a couple minutes on why you would like to fill in for the next few months and help us out. And I think there's a question on the date, though. That was one thing I saw in one of my emails. Yeah, okay. But yeah, we fixed it. Okay, good. Thank you. Okay, go ahead, Lorraine.
Okay, you have copies of my resume,
Yep.
and I answered your questions. I've lived in Swartz Creek area my whole life. I'm a Swartz Creek graduate. My parents were both Mary Crapo graduates. Both sets of my grandparents were from Swartz Creek area, and all of my aunts and uncles, which I have a lot, have all graduated from Swartz Creek, so my dragon roots run deep. I recently retired from the middle school in November, but I realized I wasn't really ready to let go of the student relationship. And so this opened up, and I thought it was a perfect time to come back. I am not on the ballot. Therefore, I think that's an important issue that I'm not on the ballot. So, and I feel that way because you don't have an advantage when you are on the ballot to run for the election. So I'm just happy to have this opportunity to come back for a few months.
Well, thank you, Lori. I know you're well-versed. I would like, anybody have any questions? Yeah, you can, yeah. Yeah, but you guys, tell me how you want to do it. Who wants to go first?
I mean, you pretty much already answered number one for us, so thank you. As a board member, are we just going to go through and answer these questions? Thank you. Okay. As a board member, you'll be asked to make decisions where you must put aside what's best for you, your family, your friends, and your school to do what's best for students, for the students and the district. What does that mean to you?
Well, we're in education, so the students are always first. So the decisions have to be based on that.
Okay, so that takes us to, what question was that? Two? Yeah, okay, because we skipped number.
Do you have a copy of your stuff in front of you?
I do.
Of,
Of,
The questions?
yeah.
I just have my
Okay.
chicken scratch.
Okay, I didn't know if you got copies of your questions and answers that.
Who would like to ask question number 3?
I can do that.
Okay.
Okay. What is your vision for the Swartz Creek Community Schools, and how do you see your skill set and leadership helping this vision come to life?
Do you want me to just tell you what I wrote on here, or what
You
are
can
you?
do it whatever you want, Lorraine. If you'd like to read it off, your bio or.
Okay. Having been on the board, I feel like I play well with others. My time was spent working with 4 different superintendents. My service time incorporated the hiring of 1. I have achieved the partial 2 level of the MASB governance classes. They were informative and helpful, so I know how the process works. And working and communicating with others is not a problem. I'm a people person, so would much rather talk face-to-face, but understand the timeliness of text is important. One of my duties at the middle school was writing an article for the monthly newsletter. It was viewed as a way to build a relationship or connection with students, parents, and staff. I like to share positives and give students encouragement and attaboys. There is homework involved with the position on the board, and it would be my duty to be prepared and knowledgeable of the meeting agendas and concerns of the district. Working together for education is important priority.
Okay, that's great.
So I think I just want to clarify, the questions that we have in front of us are different from the questions. So I know that you received questions that you responded to via email, but the questions that, we have another sheet in front of us. So the questions are, it sounds like they're lining up slightly, but there might be a little bit different. So
Okay.
just make you aware of that, and also anybody else, Vicki as well.
Yeah, we have additional questions. There's a number 1, 2. So if anybody else has any additional questions, I'll go ahead and let them have the floor and ask Ms. Ahern any questions they may have. Everybody good? Or any comments on any of her written letter that she gave us? If anybody has a question on that?
No questions. Appreciate, seeing you in action quite a long time. How many years did you serve?
7.
And thank you. Some of these things, answering them for us again is helping the community hear it as well too, right? They don't know all the things that we have, so thank you for that. You were appointed once and elected once, correct?
No,
No.
I was elected.
For 7 years?
There was kind of a glitch in there when I came on. They extended the length of the board time, And then we had to get everybody in order, so we weren't all leaving at the same time. So there were extensions, and that's why it was 7 years. Thank you.
Didn't know that.
Went from 6 to 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
We extended some of our time.
Most school boards are 6 years, and for some reason they switched to 4, and I think that was the hiccup, so. Okay, Lorraine. I don't have any questions. Thank you. You good? All right.
Yeah.
Thanks, Lorraine.
Okay, thank you.
Vicki, please come on up.
Guess I'm next.
Yeah. Hi, Vicki.
Well, here
Vicki
I come.
Sturgis,
Hello,
yep.
everyone.
Yep.
I guess I'm going to just read out what I have written out. You might have read it. It does answer all the questions that were presented to me. So my name is Vicki Sturgis, and I am running for trustee. And I hope that I can get on the board so that I can get a head start, and hopefully I win my election. I am eager to be on the board. So my background consists of being a longtime resident of Swartz Creek. I also graduated here. I grew up in Winchester Village, where I live now, and I attended Baker College, obtaining a degree in management, and I have over 10 years of management experience in hiring and firing. I want to serve as a trustee and work together with the Swartz Creek School Board to make good things happen here, which they already are, and I just want to be a part of that. I want each student to know their full potential and understand that a good education and a skill set is important to them and their future. Some of the roles and responsibilities of school board members are to create a safe and supportive environment, which I trust that we're going to have, right? Yeah. Okay. Working together to implement and change policies as needed and to create and maintain the school budget. How I see myself working with other members of the leadership team is I previously served on the Swartz Creek Planning Commission, which brings experience working together, sharing ideas, listening skills, and brainstorming as a group. And I think I can positively bring something here. My vision for the education in this community is to help create a top-notch school district in a thriving community. I think truancy challenges could be a part of what's going on in our school district, and I would like to seek resolutions on how we can handle that task. I'm not sure if that's still a problem, but it used to be. Okay, I would like to see higher achievement in raising student grades and skill set. Some of the biggest challenges facing public education is raising academic improvement in math and reading. I see the potential of higher achievement and would like to study what practices of the top achieving school districts are doing, and I would like to see some of those practices tried and successfully implemented here in both academic achievement improvements for students and the professional development of the staff, where both will look forward to coming to school, especially, after winter break, or maybe come March or April when, the enthusiasm dwindles a little bit. I'd like to keep that across the whole year. I understand an average month for a school board member includes about 5 scheduled meetings and 3 or more school or community-related activities, and I can fit this into my daily schedule, and I can attend to emails, correspondence, required reading, and district updates. And when voting on issues, I will always put learning first and give priority to what is best for the children in our district.
No, that's fine, Vicki, thank you.
Okay.
We have the same questions as you already heard, Lorraine, and I think you pretty covered it, but if anybody would like to do the first and second question, let me know. You good? Any additional questions? Okay. Thank you, Vicki.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to vote on that later, and we're going to go on to number 11. I think I'm on the right number. Board discussion items. French proposal for the elementary. I don't want to say additions, but I don't know what would be a better word for it. Concepts. Modifications, concepts, because we don't know if we're even going to do anything or when we're going to do anything. but we thought that we should have some discussion with them about that. And we asked them to give us a price at the building committee. If you remember a couple meetings ago, we referred it to the building committee. French had a representative come, and they said they would charge us approximately $6,000 to give us some options, some visions on what we could do if the mega site ever materialized. I think that would behoove us to do that, so we have in our back pocket, so we don't have the same question, what can we do if they offered money? So I don't think we have that answer. It would be prudent for us to have that answer for us, just so if they do come back, we have something in the back of our heads on what we can do or what we can't do with monies, if we even accept it. I mean, that's a big if. We rejected 2 offers already. So I'll leave it open for discussion for my fellow board members.
Yeah. Are you saying spend $6,000 for something that might happen?
Yes.
Because this is the same ballgame, and I don't like it, but that's just me. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think
Thank
we
you,
know,
Autumn.
I don't think we know the answer, but what did we pay them for the original, replacement of Morris when they put that bid together?
Well, I'll let somebody answer that if they can. I'll
We
answer
didn't.
for 'em.
We didn't pay them?
No.
Nobody knows who paid it.
Oh.
That's the problem. That's
Okay,
part of the mega site
Okay.
fiasco, because
I didn't know, so I
if
thought.
you look at the, just a
But
little history.
I guess my
We don't
question
know who paid
is,
it.
were they paid?
Yeah. By someone, not,
Well, we don't even know that. We don't know that. I mean,
maybe.
they could have did a pro bono, knowing that they may get the
If we don't have a receipt, we don't know.
contract. Well, but that doesn't.
yeah, but it
legitimate-
means we didn't pay it.
Okay, let's have order here. Okay. To your answer, what was your question, Andrea?
That wasn't a question. I said, if we don't have a receipt, we don't know who paid it or if they got paid.
Well,
They
that-
could have
that-
done it pro bono, like you just said, they could have done it knowing.
Well, that's a great question. Why would an architectural firm do something for free? I don't, hold on, please. I have the floor. Okay. Why would an architectural firm do something for free? That brings up very suspicion that if a buyer paid for an architectural firm to give us a price on what it would cost to get a school, then that would predetermine the price of selling the school, if you can follow that logic. So that's a big problem with me. That's why I think we should pay it, so we control the architect, and you don't have outside entities controlling an architect who is trying to buy our district and using their person. That's like me saying, don't appraise your house, Andrea. I'll appraise it for you, and I'll get my own appraiser. So I think that it would behoove us for $6,000 to get some ideas
I think that would,
in case happens,
I
right?
think it's a great
well, I think
idea.
it'd be, they did the first one. It was just like, you know what I mean? Like, they're already in cahoots, as far as I mean, that's the way it looks to me, is,
I don't know that to be true. They work together.
yeah.
Fija, you're right. The architects, our builders, and our administrative staff all work together. And I've searched the records and I can't find who paid for it. I would rather pay for it, so I have some control of the, I guess, the appraiser. I mean, I'm not saying it's an ideal situation, but we agreed to send this to committee, number one. We agreed to talk to French, and I think Ken and all this, some of us were there. And, not you, Ken, the other Ken. The angel, yeah, the angel. Yeah. And I think that we owe it to the public to get some ideas. And if we don't like what they tell us, I guess we can come back and say, we don't like what they tell us, we don't like prices they tell us, and we can hire another person. But for what's been spent on this so far, it's a relatively small amount. And I think we need a little professionalism and somebody that understands it if we want to build cafeterias, if we want to build common rooms, if we want to build a new school. I'm not even saying that's going to happen. But if they come and they offer us again, we're going to be in the same position we were 2 months ago. Well, we don't know what to do because we don't know how much it's going to cost
Yeah.
us. So that's.
And I
silly
don't like
enough.
being rushed into a decision,
not
like,
being
sorry, you have to make, they did rush us. Sorry, you have to make a decision by next meeting. Well, I need time to prepare. I need time to see how much it would be to add on to a building. I'm not gonna let somebody else dictate the timeline, especially when it comes at an expense.
So they already prepared them for us, why can't we just look at those again?
I think this is more formal, more in-depth, because it's talking about actually like looking at the sites and determining like what can fit where. Because they just kind of, she even admitted, she just kind of.
Right, it was kind of
copy
generic, but.
pasted. Right. So this would just be a little bit more in-depth to give us a better idea of what our options would be if we were in a position where we needed to move those students that are currently going to Moorish someplace else.
One last question, Chuck.
Go, shoot, Ken, absolutely, sir.
Has French had anything to do with the last two building evaluations where we've said the pool is okay? Because if so, I don't want them doing anything. That's just me.
No, I get, I mean, that's a legitimate point. Just let me go back to memory here. I don't recall, French didn't do the first assessment. That was a different company. I don't recall the name of the company. And that was in the first 2018 bond.
Who did 24?
24 was Auken French. You're absolutely right on that. I can guarantee it was that. And
Okay, that's all I need to know.
But I'm trying to answer it just to be fair to them. I have no horse in the race. Our administration, I think, may have, okay, I can't say that neither. I don't know that to be true. I don't know what was dictating them to look at and what not to, what their priorities were. Just to be fair, Ken, because you know that the superintendents, some of the former board members may have said, we want you to look at A, B, C, D, and E, and not at F. So I don't know if that's a fair assumption. I'm just putting that out there. I'm not saying it's not fair or it is fair, but we don't know what they were told to look at. You know as well as I do, I raised heck because after they did the assessment, we had a $25,000 or $30,000 boiler go out at the pool, and you weren't on the board at the time, but I raised concern on how could we have an assessment if it was that thorough. How did they miss a $30,000 boiler that went out a month after the assessment? So I'm agreeing with you in part. Does that make sense? But I don't know what they were told to look at. So that's my 2 cents in it. If you want to find a different firm, I don't have a problem with that, but I think we have to take some action to have somebody give us, some options, as Jenny said. Can we build onto this school? Can we build onto school, Elms, Marsh, Deek, Gaines, whatever it may be? Or if they, if the offer was right, do we build a new school? And then we have to have studies still done. That's being done currently by our current administration. I asked Ken to give us what the projected numbers will be in the next 2 to 5 years, because we may not need anything. And costs have went up considerably, which we all know that, in 2 years. So I think we got to have something in our back pocket to say, your offer is not enough. No, we don't want your offer. Or the offer is great and, whatever the future board decides to do. But we got to have something to know where we're at, if we even need a new building.
Well,
and I think they'd help us. Or another company might.
We're in a position right now where the board is going to get a complete do-over in November and December.
Right.
The administration building has gotten a new, I will support somebody doing it other than French. I think this is another one that needs to go out the door.
Okay.
So.
That's why
So if we want to vote on having Ken find someone to hire and do it and can stay 10 grand or less, I think we can solve all this tonight.
That's a great.
That way we don't have to bring it back and rehash it, but I'm done with French.
My only concern with that is that, and I don't have a problem with that. I think that's a great option, a great idea. It's just that if we put it all on Ken and he picks somebody that 2 board members don't like or 3 board members don't like, then we have another problem. So I think it should be left to the board to make that decision. But I'm
We can vote no tonight.
Well,
Yeah.
so could we say we would like 3 quotes for
Whatever you guys want.
completing this work? French can be one of them in the consideration. Get 2 other firms to give us a quote, an estimate. I don't know what the official terminology for this was, so that we can compare, you know,
I
see
think it
what,
was
what
cost
they're gonna.
cost concepts is what we talked about.
Right.
At committee and options that we could do.
Right, so we have one proposal, so why don't we get 2 other proposals for architecture firms that work with school districts and just kind of see, that way we see if it's reasonable. Again, the costs that are being offered, the deliverables, and make a decision between.
Am I
Because-
missing something, or does everybody else know that they're gonna bring an offer back, and I'm just, did that go over my head? Because I'm just, I'm hung up on that. I don't get, I understand that it would be necessary, so you know how much, you know, to whatever. But I don't understand, I'm all for being proactive usually, but I don't understand spending money for an offer that may or may not come, because that's where we're at right now, as far as I'm concerned. And then it's our timeline. If they want to buy the school from us, they can wait until we are prepared. They can wait until we get the assessment done to see how much we need to counter, or whatever. Like, I don't get why we're taking away from resources when we have 9 million other things that need, in my opinion, that need to be addressed to discuss this, so.
Well, I mean, so Maple Hill LLC owns a bunch of parcels
Right.
surrounding. They received funding to remove the houses and structures from those pieces of property. I don't believe that they intend to hold on to it as an investment, a long-term investment in vacant land. So something is going to happen. We don't know what, we don't know when, we don't know how.
And until I do, why am I jumping? That's all I'm saying.
I think, you're right, Autumn, we don't know what's coming. I look to, I mean, there's gonna be new board members sitting up here in November, and I have no doubt that those people are gonna be right back here thinking, well, there's this many new board members, let's try it with them. So I don't know, I mean, something might not happen till November, but I'm not sure I'm good with spending the $6,000 right now either.
Just to put your $6,000 in context, last year our budget was $52 million. $6,000 is .0001% of our budget. We have blown that since I've been on the board worse than this idea.
Yeah.
I do think we should, I think we need some answers, for if another offer is made. And if we leave the Knicks board members in a better spot than we have been left in, between being lied to and then not being prepared, I would say $6,000 is a pretty cheap investment. And like I said, it's .0001.
Yeah.
So it's nothing. It would be like,
It's the principle of somebody else dictating,
they're not dictating.
calling shots.
They're not.
That's my point.
I don't feel they are dictating. I mean, we're preparing, in my opinion, we're preparing the Knicks board, because I do agree that they're gonna get run at. Because I know you're gonna have 2 new faces up there, because Kim and I aren't gonna be here. Oh, I'm sorry, 3 new faces. So you're gonna have a completely different board here in about 4 or 5 months. So I do think they're gonna make a run at you, and you might as well be prepared for it. At least we're helping the Knicks board to be way more educated about this than what we were, or I was. Because between being lied to and uneducated, every time we go to make a decision on this topic, the board should have been treated better, and I think that's what we should do for the next group of people that sit up here.
I don't think that, it's probably not a bad idea to have some other offers, though. Even if we don't vote for this.
Right.
We probably, maybe a
Maybe
few
we can
more.
compromise a little bit, because this is just a discussion item. We can vote on it, we don't have to, and I'm cool with that. I want to have it's nice to have, and I understand, Autumn, that when, what she's saying is when they make an offer, then we go through this process and figure it out and make them wait. And I understand that logic on it. And I understand Ken's logic too, so maybe we can compromise and do a, like Ken said, maybe a $10,000 max and leave it to the subcommittee at least. There's 3 members always there normally. It's not really a vote, it's just their recommendation. Would that be palatable to everybody? Something that, so we can move forward?
I would feel more
Okay.
comfortable if it was somebody not.
Well, that's what I said, that way if we know we got 10 grand to spend, or up to 10 grand, we can maybe get a couple other bids between now and then. We can have it ready for the building subcommittee, and then, make a recommendation and bring it back to the board, and maybe that way we just make it an, action item. Is that fair to the board members?
I don't know that I would even authorize an amount at this point.
Okay.
Just kick it back to the
Okay.
subcommittee
All right.
and say, you know, we've received one proposal
So
from
you want a
French.
couple more?
Let's get a couple more proposals,
Okay,
and then that committee can make a recommendation to the board, and it can, if we find somebody, you know, then that can come back to the full board as a board action item to approve one of the proposals, if we find one that we like.
okay. I'm good with that. I don't think we need a motion for that, if you guys just want to move forward. Okay, thank you, Ken. Thank you, Kim. Thank you, Andrea, and Jenny, and Autumn. So we'll move on to our next, is that cool with everybody? Everybody good? Yes, okay, we don't need a vote on it, we're good. All right, board action items, candidate selection for approval. So, whoever probably gets nominated first may have an advantage, but I don't know. So we go ahead and, that's what you wanted to do, is just make a nomination and vote on it. So
You would-
I'll take a motion.
Hey Chuck, to take that out of the mix.
Yeah.
Why don't we do a roll call and say a name? Then nobody's picked first.
Okay, that's great.
How about that?
Yeah. Yeah.
She can do a roll call vote, and
When he's saying
you can
somebody can
say
just name
Fick,
it out.
and I can say Engel, and she can say
Yeah,
whoever.
yeah.
But it'll be.
Yeah.
That's
it'll
fine.
be,
Whoever has 4.
Yeah.
Yes.
Doesn't matter, we don't have a policy on it, which we do need, so.
Well,
Yeah.
that way no one's first.
Yeah, I don't have a
Same
problem with
time.
that. So, let me just clarify that. So Sue's gonna call off the board members, and somebody's gonna name one of the 2 names. And that's simple. Do we need a motion for that, though? To do it
Yes.
that way? I think we do
Yes.
to be safe.
I'd like to make a motion that we ask Sue to do a roll call vote, and when it comes your turn to vote, you say the candidate's last name that you would like elected to fill in the term till whatever it is, November, December. And
Well-
obviously, when that person gets to 4 votes, I don't remember what the term goes to, but, okay, so it's November 15th then? Okay. So whoever gets to 4 first wins.
Okay. I don't have a problem with that. I'll actually second that. Roll call vote on, we're gonna do it that way, Sue.
Okay, so you're just gonna, I'm gonna
Yep.
read off the name, and you guys are going to.
No, you're gonna read off our name.
Read off your name,
Yes.
and then you guys are gonna tell me which one you would like.
Yes.
Okay, sounds good. Andrea Fick, would you like to do it that way?
On the motion, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
What?
Chuck Melkey.
Yes.
We're voting on the motion.
Voting on the motion, yeah. Let-
Jenny Walgest.
Yes.
Ken Engel.
Yes.
Kim Winter.
Yes.
Autumn Henry.
Yes.
6 yes.
Motion passes. Okay.
All right.
Rotate the vote and go ahead and call them off, Sue.
Okay. Chuck Melkey.
Ahern.
Jenny Walgest.
Ahern.
Andrea Fick.
Ahern.
Ken Engel.
Ahern.
Kim Winter.
Ahern.
Autumn Henry.
Ahern.
Ahern wins, and we don't have to go any farther than that. So Lorraine, congratulations.
If you like,
I-
I can do her, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm gonna read off the resolution.
Okay.
To appoint the board trustee. It's been voted 6-0.
Yes.
They're both good candidates. And I guess Lorraine would be a good caretaker for the next 3 months. She is not running. So I'll read the resolution, and then we're gonna confirm the name again, and we're good.
Yeah,
Okay.
I can swear her in right now, and then she can come up here if you'd like.
Okay.
after you do your resolution.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna go ahead and read it off. Swartz Creek School District Resolution to appoint a board trustee, whereas a vacancy has been caused on the Board of Education by reason of a resignation, whereas the Board of Education has by law the authority to fill a vacancy for the unexpired term, therefore, now therefore be it resolved by majority vote of all the remaining members of the Board of Education of the Swartz Creek Community School District that Lorraine Ahern be and hereby is appointed to serve as a member of the Board of Education of this school district for the unexpired term of Carrie Germain upon certification of the election. And that doesn't get us in trouble because it says unexpired term of Carrie Germain, because that's actually 2 more years. Yeah, Carrie doesn't expire to 2028.
Yeah.
So that, I just want to make sure.
Right, well, so neither did Alyssa or,
But you read different.
The
Your
resolution was
read
different. This resolution reads the
Correct.
unexpired term of Carrie Germain.
so, yeah,
carry through
in the.
for-
So I'm gonna have to
in the
change that to
past-
November 15th.
Yeah, so that's the way it works. So like, before, I think we're saying that it was through 12/31 of '26, but that's not actually how it works with the partial terms, because those go on to the ballot as soon as
Okay.
a partial term candidate is
I
elected and
understand.
certified and whatnot.
I just read
Okay,
this
they take over.
resolution. I
Yep,
would rather
nope.
have a date on it, and then I'll withdraw it. I'm sorry, Sue.
The certification isn't a set date when it gets certified. Yeah.
Okay,
Mhm. It's
sir,
a
okay.
certification
All right,
of the
then we'll
election.
say certification of the 2026 election. Let me add that to it.
Yeah.
Can I add that to it?
Yeah.
I just don't want to read something that's a resolution that's not true.
Sure. You
So I'm gonna add to it,
And I would say until rather than upon.
okay, upon the certification of the election
Until.
until November, I don't know the date, but I'm just gonna say 26,
Yep, November.
because we know it's in November of 26. Okay. It's all good?
So you just added November 2026 to that?
Yes.
Yep.
I just-
Okay,
yeah.
cool.
Well, I just wanted to be clear on the resolution, so there's nobody comes back and fights it or says we did something wrong.
And then I think upon should be until.
Yeah, I put until 26, I put it on here. November of 26.
Because they're serving until the certification.
Yep, okay. Lorraine, please come up and get welcome. Congratulations.
We have to vote on that?
We already voted on it, she won.
And we got to vote on your motion.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry,
Make a
sorry. Stay right there. Make a motion, Ken.
Make a motion to accept the motion in which Chuck just read.
Second.
Been seconded, moved by Ken, seconded by Autumn. Roll call vote again, Sue.
Andrea Fick,
Yes.
Ken Engel,
Yes.
Autumn Henry.
Yes.
Chuck Melkey.
Yes.
Jenny Walgas.
Yes.
Kim Winter,
Yes.
6 yes.
Thank you, congratulations. What's the date today, the 12th? Congratulations. Yep. I'm gonna pass this down to the board secretary.
Okay.
I've already signed my copy.
Oh, thank you.
Made the date, so we're
Okay,
good.
can we take a break while she gets sworn in?
Well, let's, yeah.
Can I move the break while she gets sworn
Anybody
in?
have a problem with that? Okay, we'll take a 5-minute break. We're recessed for 5 minutes, ladies and gentlemen.
Thanks.
Yeah. Good, no, that's fine. I need to go to the bathroom too. Where's your shoelaces?
Oh, you know, these are those millennial shoes. They
Okay.
come with shoes. Hey, this should hold.
What happens if you got, what happens if you gotta run away from somebody?
We gotta be, you stop tying laces at a certain point, you just have that point.
Yeah,
Right. When you can't get around to your seat.
Well, I didn't know where her shoelaces were at. Well, we're trying to get through this. I want to be done by 7:55. Where's that at? All right, let me put this, administration, organization. Yeah. So what am I reading next? B. Where are they at?
How do you say it?
D-I-A-S.
Dias or dias?
Dias.
How do you-
Okay, we got
what
everybody
was it?
back. We'll adjourn. Thank you. We left off on candidate selection and approval. Lorraine Ahern has taken her seat. And we are good. We have a full board of 7. Okay. We're going to do approval of the new PAT members, and I believe that is letter B. Be it resolved that the Swartz Creek Community School Board, well, let's have a discussion and motion on it first. Trying to rush it through. I promised everybody 8 o'clock. We good? All right.
This-
Yep. Yes, please do, Ken.
Recommend the appointment of Rebecca Trent as the principal of Morris Elementary School. Becky has served Swartz Creek Community Schools in several instructional leadership roles, including teacher, instructional coach, and most recently, the dean of students at Gaines Elementary. Her experience, instructional expertise, and established relationships throughout this district will set her well to be the Morris Elementary School principal. The other appointment that I had on there would be the moving as Becky Trent moves from Gaines Elementary, where she served as dean last year. It would be recommending Kelly Robertson as the principal of Gaines Elementary School. Kelly has served as a district teacher, instructional coach, and most recently the director of the virtual learning. Her leadership experience and commitment to instructional excellence make her well prepared to lead Gaines Elementary.
Okay. Is there any comments on that? Have a motion? Well, we need a motion. Yeah, we need a motion.
So moved.
So moved by Andrea.
Are we doing them separately, or are we bolting them together?
We're gonna do B first.
Together.
Are we gonna do them together?
Yeah, they're together in that
On number A?
resolution.
Okay,
On B.
I just want to be clear, okay? I'll second the motion.
And second by Ken. Any further discussion?
Just have a couple of questions since I'm new at this.
Yes, please.
Kelly Robertson, was she previously at Gaines at one time?
No, she was not.
Any further questions?
No question, just a comment.
Go ahead, Ken.
I just want to say that Ken spoke highly of both of these individuals to these positions. So when he ran it by me, I said, you got to supervise him, so go for it. I mean, it's his, to me, it's his choice.
Well, any other further comment?
As a better endorsement, in the experience I've had with both of these individuals, I've been very impressed with them, so I'm very happy to see them getting these opportunities.
Yeah.
Good. Okay. Be it resolved that the Swartz Creek Community School Board of Education approves the new PAT members, Rebecca Trent and Kelly Robinson. I thought they were separate, my apologies. Okay, roll call vote.
Andrea Fick,
Yes.
Jenny Walgast,
Yes.
Kim Winter,
Yes.
Lorraine Ahern. Yes. Autumn Henry,
Yes.
Chuck Melkey,
Yes.
Ken Engel.
Yes.
7 yes.
Motion passes, and congratulations to those two.
Kelly was unfortunate, wasn't able to be here, but Becky Trent is here. So thank you for being here. Congratulations.
Did you want
Does she need to come up?
Did you want to wait?
I'd like to talk now. if I
Yeah,
can.
yeah, I'm going to give Ken the floor back in between this here. He'd like to make some comments about some other things, so go ahead, Ken. He said he would reserve it from his superintendent's report.
Correct.
If you recall.
Yes, I didn't, in terms of making some announcements with administrative staffing, it would be kind of tough for me to make announcements before you voted on the appointment of those two individuals as elementary principals. So as those shifts happen, every time we make decisions within education, and I had a great conversation the other day, it's always about weighing the positives and maybe the not so positives, weighing those things and having lots of conversations. Through many, many cabinet meetings, through conversations with, across the district, some informal and some things, we had to make some changes in terms of the administrative structure within the district. When we started to look at elementary principals, we started to look at situations, more and more conversations came up about where individuals would fall. In the transition from moving Becky Trent from Gaines over to Morrish as the elementary principal, in the transition of moving Kelly Robertson from the VLC over to Gaines, starts to create some holes and some gaps. Starts to create some gaps that, one, it started at Gaines, and now with VLC. So we start looking at filling some of those positions. So I've communicated with the board through some weekly updates about some of the moving around of additional administrators, and I'd like to go through that now, but there will be additional communication that will go out to the community tomorrow. This is just that formal transition in terms of it. At Swartz Creek High School for the upcoming school year, we will have a building principal and 2 assistant principals. The building principal will continue to be Jamie Damon, as well as Amy Hart and Josh Atwood. They will stay there, but we will no longer have the additional AP of Adrian, and I don't want to butcher her last name as people butcher mine, so I'm going to continue with that. Adrian will continue in the role of athletic director, but she will also take on the role of supporting our virtual learners at the VLC. So a small reduction at the high school, reducing 1 AP. At the middle school level, we just had a recent resignation of that building principal. Last year, we had 1 principal and 2 assistant principals. Moving into next year, we will have 1 principal and 1 AP. And I'm happy to announce that Teresa Anderson, who's sitting in the back over here, will be taking over as the middle school principal for the 26-27 school year, and Joe Spencer will continue with her as the assistant principal. In both those settings, at the high school and the middle school, trying to keep some consistency, but also knowing that we're reducing some of the numbers of that administrative staff. So from central office to at the building level. So I'd like to, as she's sitting in the back over here, congratulate her in terms of her new role stepping in. And then from moving on from there, we continue to have at Cyrene, Brandy Bevel. We continue to have at Deke, Heather Briggs. At Elms, Chantel Manning, and then the additional changes. So those changes will take effect. I've had conversations with everyone. They've had conversations with some staff members, and I'm extremely excited for our administrative team moving into the 26-27 school year.
Good. Thank you, Ken. All right, we're going to move on now to the approval of revised employment contracts.
You want me to talk about that?
Yeah, that was on, I believe, Bill and one other person. Troy.
Troy. So Bill and Troy, we had a couple clerical errors in terms of their contracts. You've approved them. Troy had a salary schedule, but we were unable to locate it when we approved his contract. After the approval of his contract, we were able to find a salary schedule that was shared with him. So all Troy's is he's taking 1 step up in the salary schedule. Bill Loader, on the other hand, we just had a simple clerical error. We did not have the appropriate salary in his salary step. His previous contract had that raise going in. The new one did not have it. So I brought it back to the board with the appropriate information.
Good, thank you, Ken. Does anybody have any questions on that?
No, but I'll move to accept it.
Okay, good.
Support.
Been supported, so moved by Autumn and supported by Andrea. Okay. Be it resolved that the Swartz Creek Community Schools Board of Education approves the revised employment contracts for Bill Loader and Troy Lemieux as presented. Any further discussion? Okay, roll call vote, please, Sue.
Andrea Fick,
Yes.
Jenny Wagas.
Yes.
Autumn Henry,
Yes.
Chuck Melkey.
Yes.
Lorraine Ahern. Yes. Kim Winter,
Yes.
and Ken Engel.
Yes.
7 yes.
Okay, motion passes 7-0. Next one will be item number D, approval of the SRO contract. The contract is in your packet. It's been revised. Hopefully everybody's had a moment to look at it.
What were the revisions to it?
It went, I'll let Ken talk to it.
In the previous contract that was brought to you, we had a year-long SRO, we had a school year SRO, and we had another part-time SRO. Based on the committee conversation when this came up, there was some conversation about adjusting that down to just 1 school year SRO, which is now what we have in front of you today.
So just for clarification for everyone out there, we had just brought on 2 SROs, and now we're not gonna have those, we're going on to just 1?
We also brought on the Premier Security Armed Guard, whatever.
Okay.
Clarifying for the public.
Well,
That's
we didn't
correct,
leave it
that's
vague.
correct, Andrea. But in the meantime, there's going to be 7 new security officers at all the schools currently, or starting the 26th year, I'm sorry, not currently, starting the 27 year. Yep, and that will be on the agenda. Well, so the public knows they don't freak out.
You have a motion to read?
I read the motion. Oh, no, I didn't read it yet. Be it resolved that Swartz Creek Community School Board of Education approves the 26-27 SRO contract as presented.
So moved.
Support. Any further discussion?
I just have a few questions.
Sure.
So the security people are just there manning the doors, is that correct? They don't walk the hallways, and they don't have, powers to write the tickets that the ordinances have for the fights or the vaping? So that would go all onto our 1 SRO that's at the high school?
That's correct.
Yeah, I couldn't get answers on how many tickets we were issuing at the middle school. I got some on how many were issued at the high school. I think that was sent out in your weekly update. I don't know how many were issued at the middle school, or the lack thereof. But if that becomes an issue, is there,
Well, that's
there
why
any way-
there's 7 security officers. And what'll happen is that if an SRO went somewhere, there's always somebody gonna be in that school that's armed that can protect the kids.
no, but as far as the vaping and fighting?
I don't know. We've asked that question, we didn't get an answer. I don't know. We're not gonna, let's move on. We don't have that answer.
Well, that answer goes back to, it's
don't
the
have-
duty of the administrator to contact the
Yes.
resource officer. You know, the resource officer can't sit and have a vision of who got busted today for what. You know, if the administrators, I guess ask this question, see how many fights you had last year and see how many appearance tickets were given out. And if they don't match, then the administrators didn't contact the SRO unless the administrators tell you that the SRO refused to write the ticket, which I don't think is gonna be the case. And as far as the security goes, I think the way we've done the security, have an armed security guard, it's what many school districts are doing. Your building is never left unattended. They can walk around, they don't have to be a fixture, they can be a moving object.
That's correct.
And, you know, this, especially in the elementary schools, you had one guy, you know, going door to door to door. Now we have an armed security officer. The majority of these guys are retired cops. I think it should be more than sufficient. For I don't know how many years here, we had one school resource officer. And once upon a time, the one in particular never left the high school. So I think in the big picture, we should be better off. As far as having someone in a building to stop a threat, there will be no driving to it. There will be a body there armed that once upon a time was a police officer.
Well, if the SRO has to go to the junior high school, the middle school, there's gonna be somebody left there to guard the high school, which we don't have that luxury, even with 3 SROs or 2 full-time SROs and a part-time SRO. So I guess there's gotta be some compromise somewhere. You want them in every building, or don't you want them in, or you want them in only 2 or 3 buildings? That's the question. It's real simple. I want them in all the buildings.
I want them in all the buildings too.
But it's up for discussion. We have a motion on the floor. It's been seconded. Lorraine had a question. I can't answer any better than
But
that.
this contract doesn't read that, let's say there are issues that show up with things like fighting and vaping at the middle school. This contract specifically assigns at SRO to the high school. It doesn't say and floats to the middle school when there's a vaping issue or a fight. Like it, I don't, is it the SRO they call over, or is
Yeah,
it just?
like Ken said, the
the-
administrator's got a call, and
the-
somebody from the SRO would float over there, and if needed, if it calls for, write a ticket.
Okay.
Or arrest somebody
I'm
if it
just
comes
not
to that.
I'm just not familiar with this, that's why I'm at, like, I'm not, but it says in here more than once that they will be designated to the high school. And I just want to make sure that the middle school issues don't get out of hand, that's all.
I would strongly suggest, Autumn,
Yeah.
after about the first 3 months of school, you ask Ken to give you documents on how many fights there were.
Yeah.
And how many appearance tickets were issued. And then if that number doesn't coincide or come close,
Then we know.
then find out where the problem's at.
Okay.
Again, I know for a fact that at the middle school last year, the SRO wasn't being notified. That's a fact. That's not an opinion.
Okay.
So that falls back on the building principal, and that falls back on the superintendent.
Right.
So again, go to where the problem lies.
So let's just clear this up. We're in discussion. Wherever there's a problem, where there's a police officer needed, which is very rarely in the elementary schools, or sometimes very rarely in the middle school, that police officer will have the flexibility of going from the high school to any of our buildings.
One officer.
Correct.
Well,
That's my
the
understanding.
one officer, but if you have a problem in Clayton Township and they call 911, the Clayton Township officer's gonna come.
No, the rest of Metro would come.
There may be.
Sheriff,
Maybe
state.
Metro, Sheriff, State, Flushing Township, same thing when you go to the southern part. Probably the building that's, shouldn't even say this out loud, but probably the building, if you wanted to say who had the most risk, would be Gaines. The state police do not cover that during the day. They do not have a police department. Your closest police department to that is either gonna be Metro or Argentine Township. So I think it's very, very important that you have an armed person in that building. Your response time to Gaines is gonna be horrible. Because there are no police in Gaines or Gaines Township. So having that body out there is, I think is huge. The rest of the jurisdictions or buildings where they're located, however you'd like to phrase it, they all have a police department. And I'm sure if the Metro officer needed something, the Calvary'd be coming in about a heartbeat. I think they have a sergeant and 3 or 4 officers on a shift. So, and one of them is dedicated to the city of Swartz Creek. You have plenty of police officers around. Trust me, I guess from this standpoint, if I didn't think it was safe or a good idea, I'd be the first one to tell you. I played school cop for 8 years.
So one thing I noticed, I just pointed out to Ken, so this will have to be fixed. On page 3, at number 8, they need to fix a date, because it says the agreement shall be from August 1st, 2026 through July 31st of 2026, so basically it's never effective. So that needs to be fixed. And then, so, yeah, I also have the question, so they shall not be assigned to any other school. The very last number 16 says, shall not be assigned to any other school. Does that just mean to sit normally, but they can be asked to go to another building?
Or
We need to
answer
clarify
call.
that?
Yeah.
Like, can another building principal call and request that the SRO come to their building, or they're just stuck at the high school and cannot go to another building?
My understanding is they have the flexibility to go to any of the schools.
Excuse me, I don't want to put anyone on the spot, but Chief, can your officer leave the high school and go to any of our buildings without a problem?
So I'll just address this as a whole. Chief Mike Murphy, Metro Police Authority. Our first contract that we presented was a renewal of last year's school year's contract, which provided full-time SRO at the high school, middle school, and then a part-timer who would travel between all your elementaries. That came to the board, no action was taken, so then I further reached out to our attorneys, and we came up with this draft here. This one is to specifically give you an SRO in the high school. If there's a need at the middle school, we have Swartz Creek dedication car that would respond to that. Something major, urgent, critical incident, obviously your closest asset's gonna be your SRO. In that situation, yes. As a normal vaping ticket, something like that, we would just call our road patrol over and come and handle it. If that answers the question.
Yes, it answers mine. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I have another question. So my position at the middle school was the at-risk coordinator, and I dealt with truancy behavior. So on several occasions, I went with the SRO to make wellness checks, and get our students to school. Who is going to do that now? Because it's not going to be a security guard.
Did you go to their house?
Yes.
Do we still do that? Do we have somebody to do that now?
That position is still filled.
How often did you do that? Like once a week? Once a month?
It would just depend on the student and where they were at in the system and in the process.
I'm just saying, like, on a normal basis, how many times would you do that in a week?
I'm gonna say at least once a month.
So once a month you would
At
go to
least.
SRO? Okay.
Yes. And it might have been more sometimes, and it might have been less.
Do you do, I know we have a truancy officer with GISD, did they come along too?
No, it was just our SRO and myself.
Okay.
And that was for middle school students. However, we used to have, and I don't know if it's still implemented, was an attendance task force where each person at every one of our schools that had had the position would meet once a month, and we would discuss families, because if you have one student in a family, you most likely have the whole family. So we would work together, so if I didn't take that family, then somebody from the other school would have that position, and we would all work together to get that family's students to school.
So I guess that question would go to Ken. What is the plan for, is that a practice that will continue, or how would that be handled?
I would have to work with building administrators. If you were doing a home visit and you needed some assistance, obviously we would be able to contact to have additional support there, but it would have to be working with the middle school and the high school principal, or even some of the elementaries in terms of wellness checks. As an elementary principal, it happened numerous times that we had to take care of it, and we did have the relationship with the local police department to support us for it.
If you truly believe that there's a problem in a house, you can call 911 and they'll send an officer from that jurisdiction out to check the welfare of the person at the house. There's nothing that prevents a welfare check in that manner. If you're going out to scold somebody because they're not coming to school, that's a different topic. We're not gonna do that. But I mean, if you really believe that a child was at risk at their home, 911 will send a person out. So you decide what task you're trying to perform and go that route. And if I understand the truancy thing correctly, which I don't think I do, don't we dump most of this to ISD? If there's truly a truancy issue?
Every county works a little different in terms of the truancy. I will say in all the counties that I've worked in, the number of truancy officers are always limited in terms of the number of truancy issues that we actually have. You have multiple issues within truancy. Once they get to a certain age, truancy becomes a struggle for them to follow through with it. And then it's also an issue at the most youngest age, because it's not really the mandatory age for attendance. So the county itself, I haven't spent a lot of time in dealing with our local truancy officers but we would have our truancy policy that we would have to follow in terms of after a certain number of days, sending letters, following up. Now, whether there's follow-through at the county level on truancy, I haven't spent time working with the building administrators on that yet.
Well, you can give them a call. They have a marvelous task force out of the ISD. Yes, I'm being facetious. It's relatively useless to get them to court, but that is, the process finally funnels to the ISD from every school district.
And we had this long conversation last summer.
Yeah,
So
we sure did.
We were smart enough to bring it up when we had here, so I misspoke myself, so it looks like the contract does say that. The SRO is to be designated to the high school. So I guess I'd like to have the chief come back up for a moment. Chief, if you could come back up, just indulge me for a moment. I'm not trying to put you on the spot. Why, when this was sent to our attorneys, correct? Was it this one? Okay, I want to get this buttoned up so Metro knows what's going on and everybody's happy, Swartz Creek, Monday Township, everybody. Just out of curiosity, if there was a larceny, you would rather have a guy from the road come in and take the call? Why couldn't the SRO just go over there for 10 or 15 minutes, maybe take it? I'm just asking. And then would not leave the high school completely unprotected, because we're going to put a armed security personnel in there.
Yeah, I understand that armed security protection, and you're designating a level of protection where you're losing the SRO from the high school to the middle school, but yet you're leaving behind an armed guard.
For a moment, I'm hoping, if it's not too long.
I understand that. Like I said before, as presented, we had an SRO in the middle school, and we had one in the high school. I know what their workload was. It was quite heavy.
Okay.
From the chief of police position, I don't feel that it would be the correct way to move forward would be to now take my high school SRO, who had a lot of work on him last year.
Busy,
wrote
yeah.
several tickets and investigated a lot of different issues, and now dump the middle school on him as well. I think the workload would be tremendous. I think it would be over the top. That's not a consideration I'm worthy of having. I was hoping at some point during these back and forths with myself and the superintendent, with contracts being asked by me to be provided to you, that there would be some level of communication between me and maybe a committee or something to maybe have these negotiations, not in an open board meeting, but rather in a committee meeting to discuss exactly what you were asking for from Metro moving forward.
Okay.
Because I was kind of shooting in the dark, if you will, at certain aspects as to what this board really wanted moving forward with the SROs.
Good comments. How many complaints, and if you don't know the answer, it's okay. How many complaints do you think the SRO generates at the middle school last year? Do you have that number? Because you said that's a heavy workload, or?
I don't. So last year you had two different SRO. Well, we had a school. So originally it was a school safety officer who was Officer Ellis. He was initially, his intention was to just go between the elementaries to provide support to those elementaries, put a police car there, walk through, see the kids in a school safety officer setting, not necessarily an SRO setting. Moving forward, that workload became heavy on Officer Abraham in the high school, where he was primarily he couldn't leave the high school. The workload picked up at the middle school, where Officer Ellis transitioned to basically an SRO at the middle school, which was not the intent. And you were part of the interview and discussion of that whole process of the workload picking up, and we needed a full-time SRO at the middle school to handle those situations. And so in that, towards the end of that school year, that's when Officer Aiden Hudgens became an SRO full-time at the middle school. So before that, Officer Ellis was only there part-time. He was only there 2 or 3 days a week, maybe, until Officer Hudgens took over. So I don't have those numbers. I don't have exact numbers for
That's
you, but
good.
that's kind of the history of the transition.
I'm just going to ask one more question, because we're in the middle of a board discussion or an action item. If something changes, I'm sure that with direction, the superintendent can reapproach you.
Absolutely.
We can make something happen.
Absolutely.
Is that true? Is the board okay with that?
I have a question.
And then we can do a compromise and move this forward. Thank you.
Are we going to have a full-time officer in the middle school and the high school at all times?
Just the high school. And what I'm saying is that.
So the
if
middle
we-
school's gonna be unprotected?
No, we have a security officer there.
Okay, okay, guess I didn't read this good, but I thought the security guards were just for the elementaries, but if we.
No, we're adding two. We're adding one to the high school
Okay.
full-time.
That's
In
good.
case the SRO has to leave, that's
Okay.
protected. Yeah, so, thank you for that comment, Chief, and then I guess we'll have further discussion. Let's move this motion, if we can, forward.
Good. No more questions.
Thank you, sir.
We're on roll call now.
Yeah, okay, I'm gonna call did somebody motion this already?
Yeah.
I forgot.
We're on
Who
roll
seconded it? I did not.
Yeah, I didn't hear, who motioned it? Mr. Ken, who seconded it? Autumn? I think you seconded it.
Might have. I don't remember.
Okay, I'll second it.
hear.
I
Yeah.
seconded it.
Okay.
That's who it was. See, I forgot. It was me. Okay. Any further discussion? Roll call vote, please, Sue.
Andrea Fick.
No.
Lorraine Ahern.
No.
Kim Winter.
No.
Autumn Henry.
Yes.
Chuck Melkey.
Yes.
Jenny Walgast.
Yes.
Ken Engel.
Yes.
Motion passes. So we have an SRO at the high school, and we have, and we'll, if we need, we'll revisit the middle school here shortly. We have time. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Chief, and thank you for your time, Metro.
Yeah, if we can get some numbers on the middle school.
Yeah, that's what I said.
I would like,
Yeah, that way
yeah,
we can make a more accurate
But-
decision. We didn't have those.
I couldn't
But
get
we
them,
can't
so.
without having an SRO right now. So, okay. Next agenda item is now, it leads up with the SRO program, approval of security numbers and at the different locations. So Ken, go along, tell us about that.
Committee meeting, when the conversations came up about SRO, about security guards, the conversation was around if we move down to one SRO, having additional security guards. I've worked with the security company in terms of revising their contract, and now looking at adding two additional, so we have 5 at the elementaries, adding 1 at the high school and 1 at the middle school. We do not have to adjust our current contract with them. Our current contract does not say the number of bodies. It just says the hourly workforce. So we pay at an hourly rate on that one. That contract has gone to the attorneys in terms of review and adjustment. So looking at going from 5 to 7 security guards with the company that you previously approved.
That was Premier Security.
Do you have an estimate of, like, the hourly jump that we're taking?
No, I don't.
Okay.
It was 32 hours or 38 hours, and it was 52,000 a year for a school year. Yeah. Well, we've already hired them.
Yeah.
But it was 32, you're right, or 33. They're all about the same. Yeah, we've already chose it, chose it with them, yeah. So, let's, hey, Ken, Engel, we could reduce that amount if it doesn't work out right. I mean, they're pretty, the contract that we had seen.
He said you can add, subtract at your will.
That's what I thought. Okay, I just want to make sure that's true, Ken, before we vote on it, or at least the board knows that. Okay. Is there a motion?
I'll move
Then
it.
for 7 security officers at all 7 of our buildings.
1 in each building.
Yep, 1 in each building.
I'll move it.
Been motioned by Autumn Henry,
I'll second.
seconded by Jenny Walgas. Any further discussion?
I would just like to make the point that security officers are not policemen.
Right.
Well, these security officers are retired policemen, is that correct? Most of them? Well, my question is, they're armed. Are they authorized to use deadly force if an intruder comes into the elementary school?
Yes.
Okay.
But they can't write tickets or citations or what have you, is my understanding.
That's
They,
correct.
yeah.
Okay,
If
I'm
there's
def-
something happening that's major, they're gonna step in. They're CPR trained, they're first aid trained. They have 2 weeks of firearms training. It's just not somebody giving them a gun and walking in there. So let's compare apples to apples. The people running it, I don't really know them anymore. I've been out of law enforcement for 8, 9, 10 years, so, most of them I know still, and they're retired officers. I mean, it's better not having anybody. And, they gave us the flexibility that if it didn't work out, because I couldn't remember, Ken said we could change numbers, and they're gonna work closely with their administrators in the buildings. And if the administrators have an issue, we have the flexibility of transferring and moving people around, so they have a good working relationship with the kids. They're not gonna be sitting at a desk, drinking coffee. I mean, I'm not saying they won't do that occasionally, but the idea is when we discussed it, me and Mr. Engel, that they be intermingling, walking through the buildings, helping, out, and you got somebody there, because, as Ken said, it doesn't matter what school it is. If it's Morse, Elms, Deke, some cars are only 1 or 2 cars a shift, it could be 5 or 10 minutes. That's it. There's 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 kids gone. You gotta have armed security nowadays. And that was the whole idea, is to give everybody something. And let's face it, we don't need an officer in some of those buildings. They're not writing tickets for those kids. So why don't we get realistic here? It's gonna be your 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th graders, occasionally 7th and 8th graders, I get it. And, if the principals adhere and the administrators adhere to strict code of our rules, and they see the police come in, which Metro just said they'd send an officer there, I think the kids will straighten out real quickly. I think that's the problems reporting. So, any further discussion? Good point. Everybody's got good points, but we gotta move it on. School's coming up, and we want security in there. And we can't afford 8 police officers. That's a $1.2 million, $1.4 million budget, so minimum. Any further discussion? Roll call vote, Sue.
Chuck Melkey?
Yes.
Autumn Henry?
Yes.
Andrea Fick?
Yes.
Lorraine Ahern? Yes. Jenny Walgast?
Yes.
Ken Engel?
Yes.
Kim Winter?
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0. Approval of ASME LOA.
Move to accept it.
Been moved by Autumn,
I'll second.
second by Jenny. Discussion. Be it resolved that the Swartz Creek Community School Board of Education approves the ASME LOA for the VLC Summer School Coordinator position as presented. Roll call vote, Sue.
No.
Kim Winter?
We already had discussion.
Yes.
Ken Engel?
Yes.
Autumn Henry?
Yes.
Andrea Fick?
Yes.
Chuck Melkey?
Yes.
Lorraine Ahern?
Yes.
Jenny Walgast?
Yes.
Thank
7
you,
yes.
motion passes. Next one is G. Approval of furniture purchase number 3.
Support.
Supported by Ken.
Gotta be
You're
moved
moving it,
first.
Wayne?
Move, and I apologize.
I'll support.
I've been
Who
supporting too
supported?
much tonight. I'm moving.
I thought Andrea supported it.
I did.
I mean,
He changed it to him.
I'm moving,
moved it.
she's supporting this
Got it.
time.
Okay, discussion.
Thank you.
I think this should have gone to Finance Committee first, or Bond Committee, Bond Committee, sorry, not Finance Committee. I don't like the fact this is coming without a chance to discuss it, but that's just my own personal.
I agree. Yeah, I agree.
This was the third one.
So what's the discussion? Turn on your speaker so they can hear.
Okay, so this one's
Discussion.
dated July 30th, so I don't think we've seen this one before. This is a new one. We just approved a second one back in June, and that went to the bond committee first, so we could ask questions and review it. But this one is just coming right here, and I think we need to go to bond first.
I agree. I mean,
Any other discussion? All right. Be it resolved that, I lost my place here, I'm sorry. Be resolved that the Swartz Creek Community School Board of Education approves the following purchase of furniture for 2 high school classrooms, VLC furniture, using vendors, NBS Commercial Interiors for $19,628.29. Kruger International for $62,166.21 for a product total cost not to exceed $81,794.50 to be funded by the 2025 bond funds as presented. Roll call vote, please, Sue.
Ken Engel,
Excuse me, yes.
Chuck Melkey,
Yes.
Kim Winter,
Yes.
Autumn Henry,
No.
Andrea Fick,
Yes.
Lorraine Ahern,
If you haven't looked at this, then no.
Jenny Waugust.
No.
Motion passes 4-3. Okay, we'll move on to public comments. Oh, I'm sorry, I apologize. FOIA appeal, yeah, how could I forget that? That'll be a long one. We have a FOIA appeal. Discussion on that, I think there's a big packet on a FOIA appeal. And it was addressed to myself and Vice President Wolgast, and we moved it to Ken and placed it on the agenda for review. And what's the pleasure of the board?
So I think like the really short Cliff Notes version of it is a request was made for certain documents that existed in a cloud format. So basically, Google Docs is not your typical file where it's a file that you can put on a flash drive or you can, it isn't its own file. It's able to be accessed and changed and, touched by anybody, anywhere via Google sign-in and actually, just sharing it. So it's not your typical, it isn't a PDF. It isn't a normal file. And so the request as written, the FOIA request was for certain documents in their native format as well as metadata that included revision history, different changes, who had access to the document, just a lot of information. And due to the nature of this file being a cloud file in Google Docs, it was condensed down to a PDF, and that was what was delivered as a response to the FOIA request. So the issue by the requester was that was not what they requested. They requested in the original format with all these other different pieces of information that are not present in a static PDF. Part of the problem is because of the nature of what it is, a cloud document, you can't pull it out of the cloud and send it to somebody. The traditional way of sharing a cloud document like this is just to give somebody read access to it or read-write access to it. Unfortunately, in this particular case, I believe that the legal team had requested some redactions to some of the documents, which means that even the option of sharing access to this cloud document, so that even with just read-only permission, would not be a way that the district could fulfill the request, because again, that would eliminate our ability to do redactions or anything else that we needed to do that are allowed to us by the FOIA laws. So I think that part of it was there was an appeal that the FOIA request be answered as requested, and I don't believe that is something that is possible. And I kind of researched a little bit on my own, and I sent a couple emails to Ken, and I talked to Travis for a second, and I just don't, personally, I'm just going to say that I don't think that it's possible for us to fulfill that as they requested. And then the other part of it is they were charged $175 for the response to this FOIA request, where what they were provided was not what they requested, and they were not told when they paid that amount, because they did pay that amount, that they would not be receiving what they asked for. So they were not given, you know, this bill saying it's gonna be $175, and you're only gonna get the static PDF, you're not gonna get all this additional information that you requested. They just said, it'll be $175. The requester paid that and then got something substantially different from what they requested. So I don't know that we're able to fulfill their request as it was written. And therefore, I don't think it's my own personal, I don't think it's unreasonable to refund the money because we did not deliver what was requested.
I have a question, because it looks like some of the FOIA was denied for attorney-client privilege, right? Pardon?
Redacted. It wouldn't be a denial of information. We have certain things that we have to redact in a FOIA.
Okay.
Student names,
Yeah.
employee situations, as well as attorney-client privilege.
Right, and so all of the attorney-client privilege, that wasn't done via email, that was done on this particular document, is what you're saying? Like, I get the cloud because of redactions, but if the cloud was just a list that was read in an open meeting and there were no redactions made to it at that time?
So the one that was read off, there were redactions to names, student names were redacted. So
That
there's
was read here?
Yeah.
Okay,
And so there's no, yeah, there were.
There were.
The student names were redacted.
okay,
The board member name was not, but the student names
okay,
were redacted.
okay.
Yeah, because there were.
And I'm
there
just
was
making sure,
references-
like,
Yeah, there were
because
quotes
why would the
about-
attorney be commenting on that, or editing or revising that document,
Right,
is my
and
point.
Right, and we couldn't, even just providing just that document, like
Mhm.
read-only copy, read-only access that document, there's student names in that document that have to be redacted.
Right.
And we can't redact, there's no way to redact it and let them see a copy of it through Google Docs. Do you understand what I'm saying?
So you can't,
We can't share that document with the requester with the
even though you
redaction.
can allow read-only access.
Because it would still have those names unredacted. There's no way so this redaction was like, somebody did printed it to PDF
Right.
and then put a block over it.
Yeah,
So,
and I'm saying,
so if
yeah.
you were to give somebody access to see the version history and the changes, that would automatically give them right to see the name, the student
Well,
name.
This was
in the
requested before I mean, obviously, the redactions would take place.
But there's no way to give him read-only access to a document.
Without the full history.
Exactly. So
Okay.
that he would be able to see the student name. There's no way to give him that access without him being able to see the student name. So the only way to redact the student name that's listed in that document is to create these PDFs.
What does the law say about information shared?
That's a whole other thing.
I mean,
But yeah,
because
as far
to
as
me- yeah.
giving information to a member of the public.
Yeah, no, I
has a
get it.
student name,
Yeah, I get it. I'm just,
Yeah, we can't do that, unfortunately.
you can't just use a certain platform because you know it can't be accessed by the public. It's not a free pass. Like, that's my point.
They could have printed it in its native format and just blacked that out.
Correct.
Yeah, and that's
so
what they did. They did. They gave him PDFs, but he wanted the original, he wanted to see the original with all the revision histories.
Revisions
Yeah.
And like the person that changed it as a colored copy of the information. So you can see in green and blue, it's highlighted who made the adjustments to this document, but printed as a PDF.
There's no dates or times though, right?
Yeah, there's dates.
There is, of when that was edited and by who?
Yep.
Okay.
Edited or redacted?
When it was edited. So one person created the document and shared it with other people who made changes. So a whole group of people were making changes to this document over a period of time. So the document, the PDF that was delivered to the requester has the different versions where student name is redacted, along with the date and time of who made changes and highlights of what changes were made at that time. But unfortunately, because there's no way to just give them a read-only copy of this document because it contains a student name, this is the best we can do.
Well, moving forward, I think we have to be careful or change our policy on how we use Google Docs. You can't create a document that's not FOIAable.
Right.
The law doesn't allow that. The law allows for redactions. And no one necessarily has to get the original, but they should be able to have a copy of the original.
Right, yeah, but we have to be able, we're allowed through the FOIA law to make redactions as necessary, and that's what we have done, but the technology.
So do all the people that had access to this, should they have had access to
Well,
it?
that's
a whole
not
nother issue.
redacting it, that's denying it because you can't produce it. And that's producing a different, asking for metadata data is asking for its native, like the native format, right? Or asking for it in its native format. You can't then say, well, you have to deny it in order to be like, I can't produce this in its native form. That's a denial. And it's not a reason for denial. You can't deny it for that reason, that the platform used to produce the document can't be redacted. That's not a reason for a FOIA denial.
Right, and that's why it wasn't returned as denied, it was returned with what we could provide to the best of our abilities based on the limitations of the platform that was used and the fact that we need to provide redactions. I know, like, honestly, should this person have done this way and shared this with all these people? Absolutely not, but that's a whole nother issue.
Right.
So.
Do we use Google, just because I'm, computer stupid. Do we use Google Docs here at the school on normal things?
Everything. There's some documents that we've created as a Microsoft document, but it's still an editable document. So when one document is created, so for example, say I'm working with Human Resources and John on a policy and a procedure for Human Resources. John could create that document, share it with me, and we could go back and forth and edit that in a way, rather than John creating an old school Microsoft Word document, me editing it. Once I edit that Microsoft Word document, now John doesn't see the changes that I made. The whole process for the Google Doc is that live document that allows us to collaborate on something and sometimes not being side by side.
I'm not saying it's not convenient because it is. A lot of places use it, but it has to be legal.
Well, we consulted with the attorneys on it. You can see on within the information you receive, you have on number 5 of our board policy from 2024, the process for appeals. You can see a timeline and documentation that was put together by Mr. Mertz in terms of the FOIA coordinator of everything that took place. You'll notice that this started well before the two of us started, and then you can see the document that was shared. Within the document that was shared, we fulfilled what was requested in terms of data, but we were unable to fulfill it within sharing the Google Doc, as it would have allowed that redaction to be not redacted and be seen.
Yeah, I totally get it. It's more so for me. I can't ask for lemons and you give me apples and then expect me to pay for lemons. Or, I can't.
There's 2 ways to appeal a FOIA on number 5. One is to appeal the challenge of our denial of record. So we did not deny the FOIA. We just fulfilled it within the information we have. The other way to appeal a FOIA would be to challenge the fee.
But you did, I'm not going to split hairs, but you didn't fulfill it because it wasn't fulfilled in native format. And I'm not going to split those hairs. We can agree to disagree. But fulfilling it would have been in native format because that's specifically what was asked.
And I have fulfilled other FOIAs where an individual wanted it in an editable CSV file, but they didn't get it that way. They received the information they received. So sometimes they'll ask for, we want this data and we want it uploaded in this location. Well, we don't always upload it in their location. We just share the data that they have requested.
Right.
So the native format is the, like you said, splitting hairs. We fulfilled the data that we could share after the redaction.
I don't care what we do as long as we're transparent, 100%. I've been dealing with this FOIA stuff, and I've asked for documents, and I get the documents backwards. I mean, it's like they're purposely trying to confuse everybody to, once again, Ken said it before, nobody trusts the front office. They do it to confuse us. I've asked for 50 emails, and they come backwards. So you got to read them backwards, and oh no, this date happened here. And I don't know why you can't take a felt pen and block something out and give them the native email. I just don't get it, and I'm not mad at anybody, Ken. My position is that we should have nothing to hide here. It's a school. It's the public's money, $51 million a year, as Ken said, a year, that we're spending here, and everything has to be completely transparent. You should give everybody everything. I understand. I was a high-ranking official in multiple places. They get darkened out. We're not going to give up kids' names or things that are highly sensitive that would get us in trouble, or attorney-client privilege. Everything else here, as far as I'm concerned, you can get it. I don't know what the problem is here. I've gotten hundreds of documents that are backwards. I got to go back in here, ask for the document, then I get it straight, and then it looks right. That is not transparent to me. I don't care what you say about native format, this format, that format. It's bull, and we got to figure that out right now, or have another committee, because this stuff has to end. And I am, if I'm still here, going to hold people a lot more accountable, because now I know what I'm looking at. I'm computer stupid, but I'm learning quick, and I'm done with it. I am done with this district being non-transparent, and that's what's happened here.
Why?
We have new people in the role.
So I don't know,
hopefully-
we're here on this, do we grant this gentleman his stuff, or at least his fee, or what do we do? You
Well, if
tell
we're
me.
still discussing,
Yeah.
are we still?
Well, we got into the weeds a little bit about,
Yeah.
and I did too.
I will address the idea. I've been working very closely with Mr. Mertz in terms of the FOIA process. We have been very consistent with the data that we share coming from our IT department of how we share it out and being consistent. You can see, like I said before, in the timeline of events, this started well before us.
No, I know
In
that.
terms of the fee and everything. I'll be very transparent that if it came across the same way again, the fee would be a lot more. Because the second I saw there were lawyers involved, it's going to go right back for the lawyers for review. Anything that potentially has lawyers involved or situations that could cause legal problems, we're going to have a lawyer review it. So this started from prior to us being here, unfortunately. We were able to fulfill it, but the second I received the information is when it went right to the lawyers for review.
But that still doesn't fall on the FOIA requester. That legal
I'm
cost
not. I'm
doesn't
just
fall on the
explaining
person.
the process of.
Right, but you can't charge
Right.
someone the use of our lawyer.
Right.
No,
That
but
They
I
already
just
paid for the
changed the
lawyer.
timeline.
Oh, the timeline's fine, but you can't charge someone for a lawyer.
Yeah.
It's got to
Well, you
be
said
by
the
the
cost would-
the lowest paid individual that can perform the task. It's that simple. And the other thing with this, with these Google Docs, we should not be creating anything in this that can't be given to the public, whether it's educational or where you're passing a new policy back and forth and working on it. That should all be, let's get away from the excuse of children. No, you can't give the kids' names out. Probably shouldn't give employees' names out. But when we're doing something in there, maybe we need to do things so that it is all FOIAble. Whether it's educational, whether it's a new policy, a new rule, whatever. But why did some of the people have access to this to begin with? We know why. And that is a problem. That is a misbehavior within our own district. Again, right now we're worrying about some things and investigating some people, and we're not investigating necessarily the people that we should be investigating. And we're not changing anything along the way. Well, we can't give this out. Why is that in Google Docs? If you're not going to be able to give it out in the FOIA, don't put it in there. Maybe you do have to go old school. because that is not a valid argument. As far as I'm concerned, this whole thing should have been printed out, and someone should have went through with a Sharpie and blocked it out. And then you can recopy it.
Yeah, and that's what they
Because-
did, but Josh, or the requester's concern was that's not what they asked for. They want an electronic document. So they don't want the document with the felt, redaction. They want the original. Because there's additional information. I mean, so looking through this document, it's difficult to try to follow because you have the same document like, I don't know how many different times. So trying to see, who made what revisions, and you kind of have to look at the previous version and the current version and see what the difference is. So I get it, it's difficult. Whereas if it was in electronic format, it's a little bit easier to see because it's a dynamic format, it's a dynamic, interactive experience, so you can see these things easier. So yeah, I mean, I would absolutely rather see it in that format as well, but unfortunately, because of the limitations, we are not able to share it in that format because giving that access to it in that format eliminates our ability to protect the student name that's listed in the document. So yeah, absolutely, nobody should have done this. Anybody that was on this should have put a stop to it, in my opinion, but that's, a lot of the people that were on here are not here anymore. So we can say that they shouldn't have done that all day long, but we can't do anything because they're not here anymore.
Well, we have to address this gentleman's
Okay,
concern.
let's address his issue.
Yeah. So what do you guys want to do?
We can talk about the rest of this in a committee meeting.
Yes.
Yeah, so I would say, I don't know that we can, because he wants to appeal the FOIA request, I don't know that there's anything better that we can do. I know that I've gone through, I've exhausted all my resources as far as trying to look into anything. Anybody else has had an opportunity to do that as well. I don't believe that we are able to fulfill his request as requested in the native format. And therefore, I believe that it would be fair to refund his fee. So I would move that we deny his appeal, I think is technically what we're doing, and that we approve his fee appeal.
Okay, so you're gonna make an amendment to that, is what you're saying.
Well, no, I want to deny his appeal and.
That's your motion? Yep.
Yep,
That's
and
fine.
approve his appeal of the fee.
All right. Is there a second for that?
So you put it all in one motion together?
Yes.
So no fee whatsoever?
So the FOIA appeal is denied, the fee appeal is approved.
Okay. There's a motion on the floor that the FOIA be denied, but the fees be reimbursed at approximately $175. Sue, do you get that? Thank you.
I mean, if you guys want to split it, we can, but.
Yeah, that's all right.
It's up
I'll,
to you.
I'll second
You
your
made a
motion.
You made a motion, it's been seconded by Kim. Any further discussion on it? Okay,
Yeah, I would still like this to go to whether it come to policy, I welcome it, but something needs to be done with.
all right, I think
Yeah,
we're
we
gonna do that
definitely
right
need to
after this.
refund his money.
Okay, any further discussion? Roll call vote, Sue?
Ken Engel,
Yes.
Autumn Henry,
I'll abstain.
Kim Winter,
Yes.
Lorraine Ahern,
Yes.
Andrea Fick.
Yes.
Chuck Melkey,
Yes.
Jenny Walgast.
Yes,
Okay, motion passes 6-0. I'm sorry, 6. I don't know how to do that with an abstention, so.
6 with 1 abstention.
Yeah, one, yep. All right. Public comments. Any public comments? You have 3 minutes. It doesn't have to be board specific now.
Hi, everyone. Brianne Wilson, German teacher, SCCA president, resident, all of that. I'm here to speak to the approval of our security guards for our buildings. We've talked about these armed guards being able to walk through the buildings. I know that there will be families that hear this and think, oh, thank goodness, I feel a lot safer. And there will be others that hear this and think, I'm a little anxious. And so out of respect for those families, I think it's really important for the board to publicly explain, not necessarily tonight, but in the future, to publicly explain exactly what training these armed guards are receiving regarding working with small children, just so our community members understand that we don't know where they've been working before, right? So how are we making sure they are set up to be a really good presence for all of our young kids? So that's my ask. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you.
Hello, Michelle Clark, parent, resident, all that. I was also going to speak on the SRO security guard discussion. I missed the last meeting, and my concern is, I'm not a gun person, but I don't mind the armed security guards at all. The job of an SRO is not just that of a police officer. And so by pulling your middle school SRO, if you have different police officers responding to concerns that need to happen, you don't have the continuity for those students. For that police officer, the SRO knows that I've dealt with this person this many times. So when you have a different officer responding because you only have an SRO in the high school, you're gonna have a different set of eyes on every situation. My concern also, my child's now going into middle school, but you're not guaranteed that those security officers are police officers that are retired. Are you gonna have the same person each building each day, or are you gonna have a revolving episode? We used armed security places, and it's different faces every time. And part of it is having that continuity for the students so that they build up a relationship with kids that may need a little extra assistance. But you've also, I heard that if you have an attendance person and a truancy issue, that in the past your SRO has gone out with a school employee to the home. And what I heard mentioned was that you're gonna send an administrator now, but you've just decreased your administrator in the middle school and the high school by one body in each building. So if you have a truancy issue, if you have an SRO that can go with that district employee that's responsible for attendance, it's the same person following up. But right now you've taken an administrator out of both of those buildings, and if it's gonna fall on the administrator in the building to do those follow-ups and they're a body short from where they were last year, the goal would be that these new administrators coming in are holding the people accountable and are reporting things to the SRO to have the follow-up that you're asking for. But if there's not an SRO to do that, then you're gonna have a revolving door.
Thank you. Does anybody else like to comment?
Hi, I'm Teresa Anderson, the recent principal of the middle school, but I have been assistant principal at the middle school for 3 years, and I just feel compelled to tell you all what a fantastic job our SRO did. Aiden Hutchins was amazing at developing relationships with kids, and many serious incidents, many that I was in the middle of, were prevented because of the way the kids respected him and how he took the time to develop relationships with those kids. He was awesome, and he was so much more than a ticket writer, and I am incredibly sad that I won't have him back. And I just felt like that needed to be said, especially so his chief knows and that you all know what an amazing job that he does and how much the kids love him. And the staff loves him too. So I just wanted to make that point. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anybody else? Okay, I think we're gonna go into comments from the board. And I would just like to lead that I appreciate everybody being here and the time spent, but if you recall that just a few minutes ago, we didn't say the SRO program was gonna be completely closed down. We're gonna evaluate it, and we'll pivot. I don't know if it's a closed subject matter. Everything's always can be pivoted and moved on with more experience, and now Lorraine's here. She'll give us some more insight instead of just real quick here. And we've got some insight from the public, but our main concern, safety and sometimes discipline. Can't have a police officer in every building have discipline. That comes from, and I know that the kids respect them, but we're going to leave that subject matter open, so I don't think it's a closed issue. So I would not be, we're flexible here on the board to make some different decisions. So that was all I really had to say. And I want to make sure that all our new incoming staff, and I know you'll do it. I met with Ken a couple weeks ago, and I think Ken was in there, and Kim, and we noticed that some people did not have background checks completed that were allowed in the school, and to me, that's a no-no. So we are going to, you worry about things, but we have a whole multitude of things up here to worry about, and some of my fellow board members may not have known that, but it was quickly caught, and Ken took appropriate action and corrected it after catching it. And I think that I just want to make sure that that happens. Nobody steps foot in this district that's an employee that is not a thorough, up-to-date background check. So with that being said, I think that is a concern. Other than that, there's a lot more I have to talk to, but I'll go ahead and let the other board members talk. Go ahead. Lorraine, or Andrea, I'm sorry.
Well, I'm just going to welcome Lorraine to the board.
It's nice to be back.
Yep. Okay, thank you. Andrea, do you have any comments?
Yes, I was going to mention that too.
Ken?
I have a couple.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Lorraine.
I just wanted to express our sympathy for Bobby Clausen's family. He was a beloved teacher at Gaines previously.
Oh, yeah.
And he passed away on August 1st, 2026. I also would like to express my sympathy for Gary Ellis, who was an SRO, and his wife, Bee, passed away on August 2nd, 2026. And on a happy note, I would like to wish Joan Ferris a happy birthday. This boardroom is dedicated to her. She was an administrative secretary for multiple superintendents, and her birthday is August 17th, and I know she watches the meeting, so happy birthday, Joan.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry, a couple things. I don't know exactly what everyone thinks the expectation is as a police officer, but just so you understand, there are no child classes in the police academy. It's about laws. We are here not to, as police officers, we are not here to enforce your handbook. We are here to protect the children and enforce the laws of the state of Michigan, the city of Swartz Creek. It's really that simple. I understand where each one of you are coming from, but to give you an example, every day in Gaines Township, there's roughly 7,000 residents that don't have any police protection. Not on their roads to enforce the speed, not watching their stores. They're covered by the state police and the sheriff's department. Neither really go out there. In Flushing Township and Clayton Township, there's roughly 7,500 to 8,000 residents. There's one police officer on the road. For all the businesses, for all the roadways, and there's not total chaos. I do have some questions, Ken, if you want to jot these down, because I would like some of this data, and this is the cop and me coming out. Over the last, we'll just go with 1 year, but I'd really like to know the last 2 years. I would like to know how many custodial arrests were made in our school district and on our school premises. And what I mean by a custodial arrest is where the child is actually apprehended, handcuffed, and removed from the building, taken to the parents and/or taken to the police station as a custodial arrest. I'd like to know how many petitions were sent down to the prosecutor's office and how many petitions were approved for children. I'd like to know how many misdemeanor and misdemeanor and felony criminal warrants that were done on adults at any of our events during the school day, not after hours. I'd like to know how many complaints were taken, criminal complaints, record-only complaints. And I don't know exactly how Metro does theirs. Maybe they do them for civil infractions as well. I'd like to know how many traffic tickets were written for traffic violations on or around the school campus here. Whether they were written in the parking lot or on the side streets. I'd like to know how many civil infractions were written under the new city ordinance for Swartz Creek for vaping and fighting. And if it's easy to pull, I'll take 2 years. If it's difficult, Mike, only do 1. I'm not trying to create a homework project for you. But I think we seriously need to look at some data. And then Ken, on our part, I would like to know how many fights were at the high school and the middle school last year. How many children were issued appearance tickets? And the number of days children were kicked out for. And did they follow our board policy in the handbook? Because I do believe that a majority of our problems are created by not following the handbook. Carmen Ainsworth bumped their fights up because they had so many. They bumped it up to automatic first day. I believe it's a 15 or 20-day suspension. If you're gonna clown, you're gonna be removed. So I think if we enforce our handbook, I think we can solve a lot of our problems. I don't think we need city ordinances and appearance tickets and all that. But I would like to know how many were just given a talking to or restorative justice or whatever you want to call it. And let's see what our problems really are.
Thanks, you presented that a lot better than I did, Ken.
Good job. Kim?
I don't have any comments.
Thank you. Jenny?
So I guess to kind of piggyback off Ken's, so do we actually have documentation of the discipline procedures? Do we have it in the handbook? And going through the handbook, I don't believe we do, saying these particular offenses equal this number of in-school, out-of-school, whatever suspensions. I believe the last time we talked about this with administration, it was there are administrative guidelines which are not in any handbook, which are not documented anywhere. So I guess that would be my question, is if we have that, and I know that's a work in progress. You know, you being new, you're working on getting a lot of stuff documented that has not previously been documented. But my guess would be that there's going to be some gaps there. So just, you know, how much documentation do we really have on our disciplinary procedures? And then I would also say, for anybody that was concerned about any of the decisions that we made about SROs or security or whatever, we talk about this in committee meetings. You know, that's part of the structure of having committee meetings, where you kind of get more into the weeds, you get more of the questions, you do more of the homework in the committee meetings. So just because you don't see us talking a lot about it up here doesn't mean we haven't discussed it, doesn't mean we haven't asked a lot of questions, doesn't mean we haven't done any research. It just means that we did that research ahead of time in order to make recommendations and vote on them here in a public meeting. And again, this is flexible. We have brand new administrator, we have a brand new superintendent. We have said to him, you need to tell us where you see the gaps, what you need. You tell us what you need, and we will work with you. So this is a process of, we have said, let us know what you need. We are, approving what was requested. And if that changes in the future, if we see gaps, if we see issues that need to be addressed, we can come back. None of this is unchangeable. We can come back and make any changes. So anybody that's concerned, come to committee meetings. We talk about this in committee meetings. And we are looking to our administrators, because our job as board members is the governance, not the day-to-day running of the district. We are stepping back and letting the day-to-day running of the district go to the administrators, and they come to us and tell us what they need. So we've kind of been accused in the past of getting a little bit too micromanagey. We're stepping back and letting the people that are in charge be in charge and tell us what they need. So this is a reflection of that. So those are my comments.
Okay, thank you, Jenny. Autumn?
I'll agree with some of that. Not necessarily, because I mean, yeah, some of this day-to-day stuff is supposed to be carried out based on, what the board sets into motion. But when it boils, we need to make sure that people are carrying that out. And I think that's the biggest issue, is that we've seen, is that certain things aren't. And that's pretty much all I have. I don't have much today.
Okay. Anybody want to take a shot at it again? We're ready to go. Thank you very much for your attendance. We had 16, 18, about 20 items, and I think we heard at least 18 teachers.
Oh crap,
So
I
it was a
forgot.
long meeting, and we're done at 8:55. We do have to go into closed session for just a short time. I want to thank the public for sticking around and helping us. I know a lot of the people out there are employees. So we are going to have a motion to go into closed session.
I forgot one, about the playgrounds.
Oh, yes, go ahead.
I just sent an email about the playgrounds being a little dangerous in my opinion. I've seen that slide is no longer in use at one of the elementaries, but that wasn't the only elementary with a holy slides, I'll call it. I would like that,
Fixed.
yeah, maybe moved up on the bond price, because I know that is part of the bond, and I would like to see money go in there ASAP, so kids can go outside and play on equipment. And if it's under warranty, great, because it's not that old, so I don't know what's going on, but.
Well, yeah, and do we have a process where we're going through where somebody is responsible on a regular basis for inspecting that playground equipment to make sure it's
Yeah, it's coming up
safe?
at the building committee. Bill was
Okay.
supposed to get with us.
Okay, awesome.
And Bill was going to assure us, and Ken Engel actually brought it up several months ago. Me and him and Bill talked about that. He wanted everything 100% operational. And Autumn and some other friends of hers were out there, and she, just because she was out there, found some of the slides were in disrepair. So notices were sent to Bill and Ken, and we'll have more information out to building subcommittee where it should be handled to make sure the equipment's all safe for the children.
Okay.
Like you said before, a lot of stuff is done at building subcommittees, it can't be all discussed here. So, that's it, so.
Sorry, but I just.
That's okay, that's all
The
right. I'm
slide
glad you
at
brought
Elms
it
is
up.
out of commission
That's all right.
for the time being, and if you want to blame me, okay, but.
So I'd like a motion
There
to
was a
go into
hole.
closed session.
I'll motion to go to close.
Is there a
Under
second?
OMA 15.268, section 8(1)C.
Okay.
Strategy and negotiation.
I'll second.
Second by Jenny. Any discussion? None? Sue, roll call vote.
Chuck Melkey.
Yes.
Jenny Walgast.
Yes.
Lorraine Ahern.
Yes.
Ken Engel.
Yes.
Autumn Henry.
Yes.
Kim Winter.
Yes.
Andrea Fick.
Yes.
7 yes.
And I want to thank everybody, and I want to thank our two candidates, Vicki Sturgis and Lorraine Ahern. And we'll see you next 2 weeks. Thank you.